Hello and welcome to the JB&M Sports Fanatic channel. What's good with you? And here we are early on a Saturday. We got some football here today, NFL preseason. We're talking about the Cleveland Browns, Chicago Bears. I can still say Chicago Bears for right now anyways, but the Browns and the Bears, man, this one should be a good one. We get to see for Cleveland both Deshaun Watson, Shador Sanders. We haven't seen Watson since 2024 if I'm not mistaken. So therefore, it's been a minute, So time to see what he can do. I know he spent a lot of time injured throughout his time in Cleveland here, but obviously they still have hope, or at least they're trying to say, can we get something from our investment here? And as for Chicago, hey, we're not going to get to see the Madden cover guy in this one here, but we will get to see a couple other guys out there for Chicago. They've got high hopes for this upcoming season, especially after the season that they had last year. It was outstanding here, but we got to start the day with the first comment of the day. And so, Cinema of the State, what's good with you? How are you today? What's good this Saturday? And so, really, if you really think about this Cleveland Browns team, aside from the quarterback competition, in which, hey, we always get to say, about the quarterback competition down there in Cleveland and stuff like that. But I'm really wanting to see these wide receivers. They got a lot of young wide receivers out there that I'm looking to see who's going to step up this season, who's going to become the guy out there. And they still got someone like Jerry Judy as well, somewhere on that depth chart there. So just seeing how this whole depth chart plays out at wide receiver, who has chemistry with who. And so, Samuel, what's good? Yo, what's good, Samuel? How are we today? And say, Cinema says, dare we say, Hamlet, Chicago, Chicagonapolis Bears. Let us not say that. No. But yes, what's good? Oh man, but yeah. Yeah, JB's just feeling good. I got a good gym workout in this morning here, so JB's feeling pretty good today. Meanwhile, we've got the kickoff on the way. Cleveland will get the football here first. And so now the return and the return. Okay, let's see what Cleveland can do offensively. And so Mr. JB in the chat, and he says, let's go Browns. And Samuel said, okay, so the AZ's back working this morning. That's great. That's great news there, Samuel, because it is way too hot to not have that AC working. I will tell you that, Samuel. So JB can't do it. JB cannot do it. Now, back when JB was in Florida, maybe I can do it a little bit, but now, nah, JB's don't gotten soft now. I need that AC working. All right, so here we go to Sean Watson from his own 25-yard line up under center. First play is going to be a run play here. And that's going to be a pickup of about 3 yards on the carry. And that's Judkins. We all remember Judkins last year got off to a pretty good start there. He had some good games before he got injured there. Excited to see what he's going to do this year as he continues to carry the load down there in Cleveland. They got 2nd and 8 coming up here for the offense in Cleveland. All right, shotgun formation here. Tight end goes in motion. On our own 27-yard line, Deshaun Watson to draw play out the shotgun. And now Judkins aiming for the first down marker, probably about a yard and a half shy, but that's exactly what you want if you're Cleveland there. You love to see that there. They're going to need a lot of that this season, and I mean a lot. But you guys let me know, how do you guys feel about both the Chicago Bears and the Cleveland Browns this upcoming season? What's a record projection you guys have for both teams? If you want to give a range, that works also. Oh, on third down, the Hamlet Bears with the stop bearing down. And now fourth down coming up, and Cleveland will have to punt the ball. As the cinema says, you think the Vikings and the Giants, they're also playing right now. And I believe is there not one more game that's set to come on as well at this time? But yeah, I know Zoe's streaming the Bears and Giants game. And so I do believe that there is one more game. So I'm looking to the side here. That's right. Buffalo and Carolina also is playing as well. So we've got ourselves 3 games playing right now. All right, let's see. Samuel says yesterday evening. Okay, so the man came yesterday evening. Hey, that's great. That is great. That is great. RC, what's good? And RC says no Caleb Williams today, but Shador will be available in the second half. So RC is showing up to support his boy. How are we feeling today, RC? How are we feeling? And so now Badgen, I believe Badgen, was he not the first Chicago Bears quarterback to sign a second contract in like a long time for Chicago last year? All right, quick pass completed, picked up about 3 yards on the pass. And I'll tell you, preseason football, your boy JB, if I was out there, I'd be getting the ball out as quick as I can. 2nd and 7 coming up here for the Chicago. I'm sorry. I got to start transitioning to Hamline Bears now, but I'm going to stick with Chicago for now. As Arthur said, JB, no need for me to say what's up. We already been talking. You said I was on my movie account talking to you. And so, oh, bet, man. RT, the man of many accounts. I run up the middle, picked up a couple yards there. Johnson on the carry. So now we got ourselves a 3rd and 4 coming up here for the Bears offensively here in the first quarter. Again, their first offensive possession of the game right now. Can they get a first down and keep this drive going? All right, 5 wide here. 12 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Badgen throws it over the middle. Incomplete. And we know last year how good the Cleveland Browns defense has been. If there's one thing that they've been consistent at in Cleveland, is having a good defense there. And we all know Myles Garrett gone there, but hey, they picked up a lot in return. How did you guys feel about that Myles Garrett trade there, everybody? Let me know, how did you feel about that trade? I felt like, for Myles Garrett, I was happy for him. He spent his entire career down here. Let him go ahead and be able to compete, for a team like the Rams. And hey, the Rams, shout out to them. They said, we're trying to win now. All right, nice punt from their own 11-yard line. Nice punt return. Are we going to see something magical? Oh, he got tripped up. He got tripped up. And I believe that was Concepcion. If that's not the rookie receiver out of, is it Texas A&M, I think? Because Cleveland got a couple young receivers right now, and I'm really looking forward to seeing these young receivers. But I do have a lot of hope for him. RC, I'm jealous. I'm jealous, RC. So you did get to go and see the end of the house on Oak Street. Tell me, RC, how good was it? Your boy JB wanted to see it, but your boy had to pay them student loans, and so student loans came first before being able to see it there. So JB ran out before I can actually go see it. So at some point, I do plan to go see it when it makes sense financially. But I just want to know rating wise, like how good was it? 1 out of 10, RC, in your opinion? Let's see, RC said, didn't Conception Junior play for Miami last season? And so, I've got to check and see myself. Let me take one quick look here. And nah, he was at Texas A&M. So I was right. He was at Texas A&M. He was their first round pick, 24th overall out of Texas A&M. If you think about Texas A&M had a tremendous regular season until the Miami Hurricanes ended it extremely early. Let's see. RC said, you want my honest opinion? Hey, hit me with the truth, RC. Let me know. Let me know. Because if it was not all that great and stuff like that, I'd probably, depend on the actual rating, I might still see it. But don't let your boy go down there expecting to see something extremely well and it was that bad. That CRC said, "Oh, Texas A&M. I knew I heard that name a lot last season." Yeah, yeah. So yeah, if Cleveland can get it right at the quarterback position, then hey, he could end up having a good rookie year. He really could. And again, we are at the commercial right now. I see Buffalo is beating Carolina right now 3-0. They're in the first quarter. Meanwhile, Minnesota and the Giants, they're still in the first quarter as well, still scoreless. All right, let's see. All right, so RC says movie reviews different person to person, different person to person, but I feel like it had its moments definitely. The build-up was done beautifully. The dinosaurs did their thing. Okay, okay. Let's see, say Anne Hathaway did her thing too, but the movie was not without flaws. Okay, but it's still good enough for your boy to check out there because I was really concerned there about the dinosaurs part. Like I know as long as that part is good, I feel like I'll at least for the most part get some type of enjoyment there because JB loved dinosaur movies, love dinosaur movies as long as it's not one of those free movies on Amazon, because for some reason their movies are just not that good. So when it comes to the free versions, the paid ones, yeah, but the free ones, you'll see some of anything. I remember I watched one movie so bad, RC, I had to deactivate my account for Amazon because it just was that bad. All right, first and 25 here for the Cleveland Browns. And Watson's dropping back to pass. Watson on the move, throws it, gets the completion there. Finds a tight end. It's going to make it second down here in the first quarter with 11 minutes to go. And this is the second offensive possession here for the Cleveland Browns. All right, so RC said you give it a 6.8 out of 10, maybe a max of a 7 out of 10. All right, I would have been very concerned if it was like 6.5 or lower, but I feel like that's still good enough for JB to go out there and see it. Because as you said, it's the first person to person. So, okay, appreciate that. All right, second and 19 for Cleveland. Watson over the middle to Jerry Judy says, don't forget about me. Gets it all the way to about the 46, 47-yard line there, but still third down to go. And so Phoenix, what good? What's good with you? And so Phoenix says, what's my favorite dinosaur? Now that's a question I've not been asked here before, Phoenix. JB's favorite dinosaur is the Spinosaurus. The Spinosaurus is JB's favorite dinosaurs. But hey, I do like stuff like, the Ankylosaurus and stuff like that. So those are probably my top ones, but the Spinosaurus as of right now is probably my most intriguing one to me. So that's what I'm thinking. Wasn't gonna take the easy route and say like the T-Rex or something like that or Triceratops, but great question. What about you, Phoenix? Maybe I should have called my channel JB and Dinosaurs. That's probably what I should have did. Let's see. RC says it was actually short. The runtime was about 90 minutes, JB. I think it's enjoyable. It's just they do leave some things unexplained and a few boneheaded things happen, but that's with every movie. And so, just 90 minutes. Okay, so they're not trying to make a franchise run out of this. This is just about, you know, okay, one off. Gotcha. All right, Judkins up the middle, fighting for a yard, picks up a yard. We got 9 minutes here in the first quarter of play. Still scoreless 0-0 here, but Cleveland trying to make the most of their second possession. Again, Deshaun Watson right now at quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. Let's Archie said, what about the T-Rex there? And so, hey, T-Rex is definitely up there, but I feel like everybody picks the T-Rex. So if I would have said that, that would have been, just the easy way to go. But hey, the Raptors though, like their intelligence, hey, A1. Like if JB's facing a dinosaur, I don't want to go against a pack of raptors. That's just, I feel like my odds would be extremely low. I mean, all dinosaurs really extremely low, but especially raptors. So, and so Phoenix says the Mosasaurus. You say you just never know what's swimming in the water. Now, we talking deep sea now? Hey, Mosasaurus for sure. For sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, JB can talk dinosaurs for a good minute now. All right, so Cleveland facing third and 5 right now. They need Watson to be able to make these types of plays here. Feeling the pressure, Watson throws it. Oh, was it dropped? Oh, that was actually a good pass, though. Good, quick pass, got it out there, but incomplete. Tight end just dropped it. Fourth down coming up. Yeah, they did, like you got to catch that. Like you got hands for a reason. You came in last year and took Njoku's spot. You can't be doing that, Fanning. Like you just can't. All right, so now Cleveland's field goal kicker's coming out for a 50-yard field goal attempt here in the first quarter with 7 minutes and 47 seconds to go in the first. Trying to get the first points of the game. The snap is good. The hold is good. The kick, it is also good. Tack on 3 points here for the Cleveland Browns. It is so important for a team like the Cleveland Browns to have a field goal kicker that can be consistent because you got to capitalize on every opportunity that you get to score, because there's going to be some games where it's going to be some low scoring games. Every point matters. As RC says, Caitlin Clark has been frying JB, brother. Oh, really? Tell me more. Let's see. You say, JB, I can't stand when people drop spoilers, so I won't be doing it. Hey, I forgot where it was, but I did hear this one guy. I forgot what movie. I think it was the Spider-Man new movie. Like he went to see it a second time, but his girlfriend had not seen it. So he was like spoiling the movie, and the people around him did not like it. So it like rushed out into a whole fight at the movie theaters and stuff like that. It's crazy, man. Just crazy. It's like, bro, just keep it to yourself, like don't spoil it for everyone else, right? And so I said, what do I think about Ice Cube's Big Three? I mean, I feel like, it is cool in the sense that because I remember, back in the day when Allen Iverson, first was like doing the whole coaching stuff and all like that. So I find it interesting, but I don't spend a lot of time watching too much as of recently. But when it first was new and stuff like that, I did tune in a little bit. So it's interesting. Let's see. RT says Caitlin has scored in double figures in the last past 12 of 13 games. Okay, okay, okay. RC says, I will occasionally watch a game, but the players now aren't really dazzling enough. And so that may be what it is, honestly. That honestly may be what it is in all honesty. But hey, let me know if Westbrook does decide to join up, though. That might actually have me tune in a little bit. Let's see. Samuel says, hey, Josh, with AI bot robot named Lindsey Burris. And so, yeah, yeah, yeah. Kind of to double check that, but yeah, that is correct. That is correct. Let's see. I see the Vikings have 3 points. Oh, they're just going to show me a little Kyler Murray here. Okay, okay. Again, Kyler Murray already won the starting job. All right, so Cleveland getting ready to kick the ball off here after getting 3 points on the 50-yard field goal. Let's see. All right, she says, JB, I can't find a lot of new movies that will do it for me. You said, I love movies, but good films seem so rare now. Yeah, I mean, because they be making sequels to movies that I never heard of the first time it came out. So if I didn't watch the first one, what makes you think I'm gonna watch the sequel to it? But they be doing that, all these remakes and stuff like that. I'm like, you just producing the same thing with a new, just new cast and stuff like that, or ruining something that was already good and stuff like that. But you're right. You're right. You are right. I tell you what, though, at the end of the year, I am looking forward to the Avengers Doomsday. JB will be looking forward to that. That's really my next movie on the radar. All right, gets the carry. That's Johnson again on the carry. Picks up a couple yards there. Here in the first quarter with 7 minutes and 20 seconds to go. Again, Cleveland up 3-0. Chicago looking to respond. So let's see. All right, meanwhile, 2nd and 8 here, and Johnson gets to the outside here, about 2 yards shy of that first down marker. Gonna make it 3rd and 2 coming up. Nancy Archie says, if I can say the Oak Street movie is not touching Jurassic Park, I had that feeling. I had that feeling. I want something like Jurassic Park, but I want it to be a bit less, how can I put it? A bit less family friendly, if that makes sense. Like I need to know that the main characters may not survive. I need to actually have that fear so that way when the scenes do pop up, it's like, okay, we might actually lose, one of our best, well-known actors in this one, Let's see. Samuel says, where is Lainey at? You say she's late? And so, hey, I'm thinking, where is Lewis at? We got the Chicago Bears here. You can't think Chicago without thinking Lewis, so that's what I'm thinking. But yeah, let's see. RC says, who's my favorite superhero? Oh man, my favorite superhero. That is a question. Uh, I honestly feel like when it comes to superheroes, I don't necessarily have a favorite anymore. Like maybe as a kid I did, but I don't really have a favorite superhero anymore. Let's see. RC says, I don't think the Punisher counts because he's like anti-hero, right? For the sake of this conversation, we're gonna say it does not count. Let's see. RC says, on rare occasions, I've seen Lainey in my comment section, but she's a busy woman. And so, oh yeah, gotta, stay busy. Gotta stay busy. Plus, I know the Jaguars come on later. I think against your Saints, Samuel, if I'm not mistaken, today. So I know she'll probably be tuning in for that game. So absolutely. All right, and again, we're at the commercial here. Cleveland up 3-0. RC says the bots want to party, JV, and we don't want to party with them. I mean, I remember a time where when the bots show up, then I knew that meant that we had a lot of, people tuning in for the stream and stuff like that. But it seems like recently they'll just show up just to show up, so, but yeah, they want to party, but it ain't that kind of party. How many wins do we project the Cleveland Browns are going to win this upcoming season? Somebody give me a range of how many wins we got the Browns winning, how many games we have them winning this season. All right, and again, we are here in the first quarter. We got about 6 minutes and 18 seconds to go here in the first quarter of play. Cleveland up 3-0. Oh, wait a minute. Did DJ Moore get banged up on the play? I hope he's okay. And you got Josh Allen playing like it's the regular season already. All right, first and 10 here for the Browns. Play fake. Watson throws it to the back, and the back does not get back to the line of scrimmage. He's actually going to lose a yard, and that was Dalen Sampson back there in the backfield, the running back out of Tennessee. He said most likely 5. I'm gonna give him 6. I'm gonna give him 6, maybe even 7 potentially, maybe even 7, but 6 or 7. All right, Mr. JB said he got the Browns winning 8 games this year. Okay, okay. It just depends on the quarterback play. If they can somehow get it right, I could definitely see about 7 or 8. But if it goes bad, then it's going to be about 5 or 6. All right, so we got second down and 12 coming up here. Again, first quarter, 5 minutes and 39 seconds to go here in the first quarter of play. Cleveland Browns up 3-0 right now. And we got a timeout called by Cleveland. As RC said, did I see thunderbolts? And so, yes, yes. Meanwhile, Watson throws it. All right, another completion there, and that is Casey Conception from Texas A&M. We saw him on a return earlier, and now he's got a catch in this one for 9 yards. His first target of the game. 3rd and 2 coming up. So on 3rd down and 2. Cleveland's got the fullback in there. Back in the backfield, snaps it, gets it to the back in the back. Sampson fighting for the first down. He gets it thanks to the second effort on the play. And that's the first down here in the first quarter with 4:50 to go. Again, Cleveland up 3-0 so far in this one and just picked up the first down on the ground. Now, Ben Johnson has made it extremely clear for the Chicago Bears that he wants them to go out there and not just win games, he wants them to blow people out. He wants them to break the record for most consecutive wins in a row. He wants something historic offensively. So he put that big X on the Bears, test. So we'll see how that plays out in the regular season. But he's making it clear he's got extremely high expectations. Let's see. RC said, I didn't know anything about them, but I found them to be interesting character entities. You said, I think they will be in Doomsday too. Let's see. RC says, Ben wants an undefeated season 2. And so, I mean, don't we all? As fans, don't we all? Well, JB's going to tell you something. JB had a fantasy football team that went undefeated last year in the regular season and lost in the playoffs. And so the team that lost in the I'm sorry, in the regular season, won the championship for me because I was in like 3 leagues. But I really was so disappointed in that team that lost in the regular season. We were perfect all regular season. Let's see what the referees are saying here. I got the old measuring sticks out here. The chain gang still out and active, and looks like this is going to be short. So you got 4th and inches coming up here. So 4th and inches. Nice to still see the chain gang come out every once in a while. I remember on the older like football video games, whether we're talking ESPN, whether we're talking NFL Game Day, whatever it was, the older video games and stuff like that used to bring the chain gang out to come out and measure the first down in the video games. I miss those video games. Let's see. Samuel said, "You're mad you lost. Your team lost. Said lost in the Super Bowl. You mad the Patriots lost in the Super Bowl?" So Mike. Thank you for tuning in, Mike. I know your Buffalo Bills are playing over there, and it looks like you guys are actually playing the starters a good bit. I see Josh Allen just moving and grooving and throwing the ball. Even Keon Coleman caught a pass in the end zone. So, Mike, I know you're going back and forth between that and this game, but how are you today? All right, so here we go. 3 minutes and 28 seconds to go here in the first quarter of play. And right now, the Cleveland Browns, they are up 3-0. Deshaun Watson's in there at quarterback up under center right now. Chips top formation, one receiver bottom of the screen. Here's going to be a run play. And he's going to get back to line of scrimmage and nothing else. The Bears, they bear down. They say, nah, not going to happen. And Dalen Sampson, so far in this one, he's got like 2 carries for 5 yards. Now you got yourself a 2nd and 15 coming up here in the first quarter. As the RC says, JB, tell me why I see the Vikings and Giants game showing for free on YouTube. I don't have that answer right there. I really don't. But I'm glad that it's free. Meanwhile, Watson throws it short. Sampson gets the catch at the backfield. Look at him accelerate. He's running. I haven't seen him run like that since his time at Tennessee for Laney's team down there at the College Tennessee. What a big time play that was. And that's going to help the yards at the catch there. That was 43 yards to the Chicago 32-yard line. Wow. You're going to need plays like that. But Watson in there at quarterback, you are going to need plays like that. The yards after the catch, but look at him. He said, get away from me. Gotta love it. All right, 1st and 10, fresh new set of downs here for Cleveland. Play fake. Watson looking. Watson running. Watson brought down, picked up a yard on the play. I mean, you're running into people, guys. Like, is it that hard to just stand in the pocket and look down the field from time to time? Like, if it's not those short passes with Watson, he's just not doing anything. Let's see. Did anybody get open here? Have I seen? I have not seen the invite. I have not seen the invite. A minute 20 left to go in the first quarter of play. Shotgun formation for Cleveland at the 31-yard line of Chicago. Going to be a draw play, and Sampson's going to run it. Yes, indeed, he can run it for 6 yards off the left guard. Now we got 3rd and 3 coming up from the Chicago 25-yard line. All right, so we got under a minute to go here in the first quarter of play. I know this is going to be a defensive game coming into it here, and that's exactly what it's been so far in here. But right now, Cleveland, you're Deshaun Watson. You want this job. You go in there and lead them down there for a touchdown. You have to convert on plays like this. 3rd and 3, Watson looking. Watson throws it. Oh, what a nice catch there by Concepcion. As I said, it's a drama, comedy, romance film. I feel like I've heard. I'm trying to think if I've seen the trailer or not though for it, but I feel like I've heard of it at the very least. Is that Adrian Martinez on the San Francisco 49ers? Could have used him for the Birmingham Stallions last year. All right, and now that's going to take us to the end of the first quarter. So at the end of the first quarter, we got Cleveland in the red zone. Deshaun Watson quarterbacking right now, leading the Browns, trying to find a way to get into the end zone and make it do what it do. So at the end of the first quarter here, Cleveland leading this one. So far, things are going Cleveland's way, but let's see if they can capitalize that when we start the second quarter. But right now, Deshaun Watson currently 8 of 9 for 102 yards passing in this one. And a lot of that came to Sampson, who's actually the Browns' leading receiver right now, because he had a 43-yard run out the backfield. And it was all yards after the catch. Just Sampson using that speed, running, moving. There it is. As for the Bears, yeah, Bacon hasn't had to do too much so far. In this one, he's 1 of 3 for 3 yards passing. And rushing wise, Johnson for the Bears, he's got 3 carries for 11 yards. He's also got a catch for 3 yards. Did I watch the Patriots 13-13 tie? I didn't get to watch the Patriots until after the game was over and I saw the highlights. That came on during the time that I was streaming the Steelers and Packers game at that time, but I did get to see some of the highlights there and lowlights because our kicker missing 3 field goals. I got beef with him. I don't like the fact that he went to the podium and he's talking about like, oh, I just got to watch the film. When they ask him what happened, how you missed 3 field goals, he's like, I got to watch the film. I'm like, no, you don't got to watch no film. You're a kicker. What can you watch that can possibly help you other than just go out there and make the kick. That's your job. Preseason, practice, NFL regular season game. You're the kicker, man. It's your job to make kicks. So I was not happy about that. But other than that, I was just happy that when the starters were out there, clearly the Patriots were the better team when the starters were out there. Coach did tie it up in the fourth quarter, with the reserves and stuff. That's all I'm saying. And they opted to kick a field goal to tie the game late in the game. So rather than play to win it. Oh my goodness, JJ McCarthy's looking terrible right now with that pass. Oh my gosh, who took that hit for the Giants? Was that? Oh my goodness. Well, Minnesota's not playing around. What a hit that was on that Giants quarterback there on Jackson Dart. Oh my goodness. The running back, I think, completely whiffed the block. Meanwhile, Cleveland with the touchdown. So we were just coming back from them showing the other game, and look at that. And did he keep it? Oh, excellent job. He kept his balance and he went all the way to the power line there for the touchdown. Look at that replay. Look at the pure effort. Who says these boys don't care about preseason? That's a touchdown. That's looking out for your quarterback right there. Wow. KC Concepcion with the touchdown on it. And that was an excellent job just to control his balance. Now, the referees are going to do what the referees do. They're going to take a second look at this, a third look at this. We'll look at it also. But I mean, he hit the, power line with the ball, so I don't know how you can overturn that. I said, JB, I've been meaning to tell you this, bro. Tell me why after that game between the Steelers and the Packers, all the Drew Alar rookie jerseys sold out. Any thought? Man, they thought that they found themselves a flyer. They think that, he's got some potential in the future. So they want to buy his jersey now while it's very cheap. And then they're hoping next year he takes over and stuff like that. Again, it's one preseason game. I have to remind everybody, what was it, 2 seasons ago, that we saw JJ McCarthy have that outstanding preseason game, and we've not seen it since. So we'll just take that with a grain of salt as it is. But I was happy for Drew. I was happy he got his moment, and the moment didn't look too big for him. He looked comfortable. That's all you can ask for from a rookie quarterback in a preseason game. All right, so the stats for some reason is saying that Concepcion that they listed it as a carry for some reason, but yeah, that was a nice touchdown there. All right, she said it either works out for Drew Alar or those same jerseys will be floating on shelves at Ross or TJ Maxx. Yes, yes, yes. Oh my goodness. Accurate. Very accurate. All right, so while this game is going on and we're currently at the commercial, let's take a quick look at some of the other games. All right, so it looks like the Giants did score. I don't know how they scored, but they did score a touchdown. They're up 7-3 over Minnesota. Buffalo taking care of business against Carolina. They're up 10-0. Speaking of the Giants game there, let's see, which running back is that they threw it to? Is that Devin Singletary? Is he still with the Giants? Oh, wow. Devin Singletary. Mike knows something about Devin Singletary. Okay, then a little touchdown pass too. Okay. Meanwhile, extra point there is good there. So Cleveland up 10-0. Here in the early stages of the second quarter in this one, Deshaun Watson threw a touchdown pass to Casey Concepcion. All right, RC says that he's got a real good question for JB. Should JB be nervous? Is the next question. Okay, so they call that actually a run. So it does not count as a passing touchdown. They call that a run by Concepcion there. So okay, but hey, he gets the touchdown. They still scored nevertheless. I don't think that this is what Ben Johnson had in mind when he talked about blowouts and stuff, but 10-0. You say, now that I left Texas and moved, which one is worse, Cowboy fans or Falcon fans? I'm gonna say Cowboy fans because Cowboy fans have the delusion, for the most part, that they are championship ready. You ask Falcon fans everywhere, they may say this year will be their year, but they're not talking Super Bowl. They're talking just this will be the year that they actually look decent again. This will be the year that perhaps they make it to the playoffs and just have an exciting team to watch. That's all Falcon fans want. They just want to support their team. They want their team to be good, have a couple names that some stars and stuff like that, but they're not thinking Super Bowl every year. Cowboy fans, though, they wake up with the entitlement of thinking that they're going to get it. I would compare Cowboy fans to Notre Dame fans at the college level and stuff like that. I feel like they are one and the same. As the RC says, Ben Johnson equals give him a reverse blowout, please. The kind of blowout that he wanted. And again, second quarter with 14:09 to go. Badgett still in there at quarterback for the Bears. Shotgun formation, three receivers, one tight end, one back. From the 38-yard line of Cleveland, Badgett throws it. Oh, incomplete, incomplete. He saw the hit coming. You still got to make that catch, buddy. If you want to cash that check, you got to make that catch. It's just that simple. You're lucky you didn't drop that ball into the hands of the other defender coming. He was so focused on hitting you on that one. That'll be negative, negative for these Atlanta Falcons. What are we doing? What are we doing? We're giving away freebies here. I mean, he jumped off side like something bit him. All right, so you got third down coming up here, third and 5 coming up here. All right, shotgun formation, throws it, and it is incomplete. Incomplete. Alexander in coverage there for the Bears. Fourth down coming up here, fourth and 5. I'm sorry, Alexander, the intended target there. The way he went up there, you would have thought he was a DB because he had no chance of catching that one. But now Chicago looking to get some points for the first time today. A 50-yard field goal attempt. So Santos, can he convert here? Kick is good. Hold is good. The kick is on the way. I'm sorry. Kick is actually no good. He missed it. And I tell you, I understand in the preseason, there is no worse feeling than seeing your field goal kicker miss a field goal in the preseason. You're thinking, man, will he survive the regular season? That's the art. He says he was watching a food reviewer video and he tried M&M restaurant in Detroit called Mom Spaghetti. What did he review? Like, how was his review? Got me curious now. All right, so we're at the commercial here. So the Bears missed a 50-yard field goal attempt there. Santos just couldn't convert, a little rusty. RC says the dude said, "Don't ever, 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 ever go and get that junk." You said it was a spaghetti sandwich, a garlic bread with spaghetti, olives, and cheese. He said it was complete trash. No, no, not my spaghetti. Let's see. Samuel says your Josh maybe subs me, and so I am sub to all your channels, unless you created a new one. But I am sub to the two that I'm aware of. Hey, RC, how'd you feel about your boy Jeremiah Love and what he's been doing, what he did in the Cardinals, and how much they ran him in that Cardinals game? But he looked great from what I seen. All right, so Cleveland with the football again. Quick pass and quick completion. And that's Isaiah Bond with the reception. Good old Isaiah Bond. I'm sorry, Isaiah Bond. He spent some time with Bama and also with Texas his last year, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see, she says, JB, a lot of restaurants are out here half button it today. I'm not surprised. Speaking of not surprised here, the way that Sampson's been running today, 4 yards on the carry. He had that nice explosive reception actually earlier today, 43 yards. Let's see. Meanwhile, oh wow, look at that speed there. And so Conception again. So clearly using him in an electric way. I'm liking what I'm seeing in terms of his usage. 2nd and 3 coming up here for Cleveland. And again, Cleveland up 10-0. Let's see, RC says, you say, Love is that dude, JB. You say, where did my other Notre Dame boy go? You said Jadarian Price. You said, I know where he went, but it got away from me. Did he? Yeah, he went to Seattle. Seattle drafted him in the first round to basically be the replacement of Kenneth Walker III, who went to Kansas City in free agency. So yeah, Price was drafted there. So it'll be him and Charbonnet whenever Charbonnet is 100% healthy. But that's a great opportunity for Price as well. But Love, he is him. All right, so we got 3rd and 1. Watson up under center. The run play, but oh, look at the stop there by the Bears. They were not having it. They knew it was going to be a run play, and they were prepared. That was Marshall on a carry, Amani Marshall. He lost a yard on the play. Now you got a 4th and 2 coming up for Cleveland. Watson throws. Did he throw an interception? Are you kidding me? Wow, Watson, what are we doing, bruh? Bruh, big bruh, what we doing? Show me a replay. Show me a replay, because that looked like a glitch. What happened there? Was it a fumble? Like, I need to see a second look at that one, because all I know, it went for 4th and 2, and I see an old dude with the ball in his hand. I see, Archie said you found a little restaurant locally. You say just driving past one day. You say, and your woman told you, why don't we stop and try? Okay, so hey, good looking out there, right? Came in clutch. Hey, what's their menu like? You know, like what kind of food they serve? You say, unfortunately, it's not healthy food that they serve. Well, something told me that, RSG, because these local restaurants, they will pack it on. They will pack it on. I mean, they be coming up with some weird names that like you be seeing stuff like prison chicken and stuff like that, and I'm like, what? Like, I'm like, hold up a minute. But hey, they be packing it on now. They really do. And they'll fill up your plate too. They'll fill up your plate and stuff like that, in a way to where it's like you like, okay, this is what I'm talking about. But you're right though. We may be talking about it, but the doctors will be like, nope, nope, stay away from it. Stay away from it. But again, we are currently right now here at the commercial, and right now, Cleveland is up 10-0. Things were going Cleveland way. Then they gambled it on 4th down, and what happened? All of a sudden, they're saying to Sean Watson, he got sacked, he fumbled with the ball there. It all happened so fast. I just seen the Bears with the football, bearing down. I mean, hey, this is what the Bears do. They create turnovers. They create turnovers. And so, Pebble, what's good? What's good? How are you? And so, how do I think Shador will do in the second half? Honestly, I think Shador is going to go out there. He's going to pass this rock around. Like he's going to throw the ball. I think he's going to look good. He's going to look good. I'm not going to say great, but I'm going to say he's going to look good. And by good, my definition of good would probably be Shador goes out there, throws for, let's say, about 187 yards passing. And I'm going to give him a touchdown. I'm going to give him a touchdown. And since he's going to be going against the second units and stuff like that, I don't think he will. I think about 187 yards passing and 1 touchdown, somewhere around that range is what I think for Shador in the second half. So I think he'll do pretty good. It's just going to come down to honestly, can the offensive line give him enough time to go through his progressions, especially when he's going to have backups in there blocking for him in the second half. So, but I think he's going to do pretty good. Man, Jackson Dart been going through it today. Every time I look, he is running for his life when they show these highlights. I mean, he's been getting beat up. I hope that he can make it through this game at this point. All right, Chicago play fake, throws there to the tight end. The tight end going to pick up about 8 yards on a play. We're here in the second quarter. We got about 10 minutes and 41 seconds to go here before we reach halftime. Let's see, Arthur says they have Italian beef sandwiches to die for. You said they got good burgers. They have fire sub sandwich. Now, JB can use a good sub sandwich now. Now that you mention it. And they got some good waffle fries and stuff. You just inspired me, RC. I do gotta check out this one restaurant sometime soon. It's like right next to my Kroger and stuff like that. So it's like I gotta check it out. There's a couple I gotta check out with the wife. He said they should have some good polished sausages, good cheese, thick stuff like that. Okay. All right, so let's see. So again, score right now, Browns 10, Bears 0, but the Bears with the football facing a 3rd and 3 here in the second quarter with 9 minutes and 42 seconds to go, and they're going to opt to run the ball. And Johnson, look at Johnson. Excellent job on the play. I mean, 19 yards off the right tackle and a first down. Let's go. RC says nothing to help him lose the weight there. You said you even heard the milkshakes are busting and stuff. Oh, man. Don't talk about milkshakes with JB now. You're going to have JB going down the wrong lane there, RC. JB can't do that now. All right, 1st and 10, Badgett throws it. Oh, what a play! And that's going to be a touchdown for the Chicago Bears. And just like that, they have scored a touchdown. Now, if they had made that field goal earlier, we'd be looking at potentially a tie. But we can't talk about what ifs, right? But what a play for the touchdown, Chicago. And we got ourselves a game here in the second quarter with 9 minutes and 16 seconds to go. Now, look at that. Obviously, faked it to the back there, moved to the left, threw it back to the right. And the safety, he just stumbled on the play. What kind of angle was he taking? And that was Alexander, the receiver that caught that one for 25 yards and an easy touchdown. And now for the PAT attempt, which is good. So now the score right now, Browns 10, Bears 7. RT says, best thing is the prices are reasonably placed. RC, you hit the jackpot there. You hit the jackpot. Because that's hard to find. You know, it's one thing to find good food, it's another thing to find good food at reasonable prices. All right, but again, we're at the commercial right now. You have Chicago now looking at Badgent's stats so far. He is 4 of 9 here for 76 yards passing, including that 25-yard reception pass that he just completed for a touchdown in this one. So the Bears cashed in off the turnover that Deshaun Watson fumbled the ball. And so people says, touchdown Bears. Absolutely. Get your popcorn ready. Get your popcorn ready. So 10-7. Will Cleveland be able to respond? Because, hey, not that long ago, before this drive, things were going extremely well for Cleveland. They were up 10-0. They were actually moving the ball. But then on 4th and 2, Watson coughed it up. And just like that, the Bears doing Bears things. This is just in the Bears' DNA. But hey, you guys watching, I want to hear, what do you guys project for both of these teams in the regular season? What do you guys think for both of these teams? You know, do you have any of these teams making the playoffs? Where do you think they're going to finish in their divisions? How many wins? If you just want to give me a range, that works as well. But I want to hear from you guys. You guys let JB know, how do you guys feel that both of these teams are going to do this year? Now, I've heard with the Chicago Bears, obviously a lot of people are feeling like, hey, this has to be the year 3, you know, Caleb, cover of Madden and stuff like that. This is where it all comes together. Ben Johnson did tremendous year 1, another year in the system. So what do you guys think? As we all know, you know, because we're all diehard NFL fans, you know, so we know year to year, you got to rebuild that chemistry from the previous year, you know. So what do you guys think how it's going to all play out? And RC said he's reading too fast right now. So thought people said Bears won, and so oh no, we still got plenty of football left to go. We got a whole second half to go. Mr. JV says playoff, no. So okay, so you say no playoff for the Chicago Bears? Okay, okay. Or was that for the Browns? Which one? All right, so Cleveland getting ready for the football. More of Deshaun Watson. Again, it's John Watson. You know, 10 of 11 for 117 yards passing so far here. Tell them, people, tell them. People says, woo and one are two different things. Get it right, RC. Get it right. Oh, RC. All right, here we go. Watson up under center, got a fullback back in the backfield here, two receivers, tight end on the play as well from their own 35-yard line. 8 seconds to go right now on the play clock again here in the second quarter with 9 minutes and 16 seconds to go before halftime. Watson takes a snap. It is a run play, but he is going nowhere off the left side. And that's Marshall again on the carry, losing a yard here. Marshall's got 3 carries for 4 yards so far in this one, and now they're faced with a 2nd and 11 ball on the Cleveland 34-yard line. Bears are doing an excellent job today against the run. They know the run is coming. They're prepared for the run. Both running backs have really struggled to run the ball. Sampson did have that big catch out the backfield, but again, just running the ball wise, both running backs have struggled in this one. 2nd and 11, though. Watson throws it incomplete. Too low. Tried to get it to conception there, but too low. All right, so Mr. JB says that both the Browns and the Bears will not make the playoff this year. So Mr. JB saying it with his chest. Let's see, Sammy says, your JB maybe subbed to my second channel. And so, yeah, because I remember before I had subbed on both channels there. All right, 3rd and 11 here for Watson. Flings it there to the back. Can the back do something amazing? No, but he did pick up some yards there, about 7, maybe 8 yards there, but he's still going to be a couple yards shy of that first down marker, which is going to bring up 4th down here in the second quarter with about 8 minutes and 13 seconds to go here before halftime. Again, that was Marshall, Watson to Marshall. Completed, but not enough for the first down. So you got a 4th down coming up here, 4th and 2 coming up. And we're going to see the punter here. RC says, what do you think about Caleb Williams not playing not even a series? In all honesty, RC, I'm not surprised. I'm really not surprised that they didn't put him out there. That's just what most of these NFL teams seem to do nowadays. But I fully expect that the next preseason game for him to be out there because you got to get some real live reps out there. But look at this return. Trying to make it do what it do. All that to be brought down at about the 16-yard line. And that is where the Bears will start off. They scored a touchdown last time. Can they repeat with another touchdown? With the score being right now, Browns 10, Bears 7. But the Bears will have the football. 7 minutes and 32 seconds to go here before halftime. And again, just to remind you guys, so Badgett so far for Chicago, he's been in there since the start. He is 4 of 9 for 76 yards passing and a touchdown. And then there's Johnson. Can't forget about Johnson in the backfield. He's got 5 carries for 30 yards so far in this one. So he's getting about 6 yards a carry there. Extremely helpful. Let's see. Do you think it depends on the stature of quarterback? Honestly, RC, I would say some teams I can understand. Like I feel like if your quarterback played the full season the year before and he looked good, I can understand missing the first preseason game. I can certainly understand that. What Cincinnati did, I can understand wanting to play Burrow, but at the same time, the moment he took that big hit and stuff like that in that game, I'd have took him out. Like I'd have taken him out. You cannot lose your key marquee quarterback. Your season's done if you lose him. You've got to protect him at all costs. At least let him get to the day one. All right, let's see. People says you're a Chiefs fan and ex-Cowboys fan. Okay, but you have some Broncos and Bears fans on other channels. You like good, entertaining football. Okay. All right, so a Chiefs fan. And tell me about the ex-Cowboys fan. Like, what year did you leave the Cowboys, and what was your reason for leaving the Cowboys? Well, I'm very curious about that, and when you became a Chiefs fan, and how long you've been a Chiefs fan. So do let me know. All right. Meanwhile, here, Chicago. They're on 35-yard line, so they're moving the ball here. Gets the snap. Badgett looking. Badgett throws it. Incomplete. If the receiver had a chance, if he was him, he would have made that catch right there, but it was incomplete to Alexander. Now, Alexander did make that big catch earlier, so I'll cut him a little bit of slack, but that's a catch you got to make. That's a catch that you got to make here. You had an opportunity to make a name for yourself in this one. You got off to a good start. You just want to see him make that catch. Let's see. Samuel says, welcome to the channel. Yes, welcome to the channel. 2nd and 10. Batting again, throws it. Nice reception, got down quick at about the 40. That makes it 3rd down and more manageable here. Here in the 2nd quarter with about 6 minutes and 12 seconds to go. Again, the score right now, Browns 10, Bears 7. But right now, key 3rd down here for this Bears offense. Can they convert and keep the drive alive? We're about to find that out. All right, so on 3rd and 5, shotgun here. 3 receivers, 1 tight end, 1 back. Put it on 40-yard line, gets the snap. Cleveland sending pressure. Badgett throws one up there. Not enough touchdown. Oh, wait a minute. A flag. All you got to do is play cover it. All you got to do is play cover it. What is this? You didn't have to do all of that. Just play cover it. You had help. I mean, you holding my man like you trying to walk him to school on his first day of school. The way he's out there holding his arm, bro. Like, what is this? You didn't have to do it. If you just play cover it would have been enough. All right, so here we go. 1st and 10. Got a fullback back in the backfield, and the back fights for about half a yard there. Again, 5 minutes and 35 seconds to go here in the 2nd quarter of play. We got the Browns up 10-7 against the Bears. Might as well say Chicago while I can still say Chicago. All right, and again, they're at their own 46-yard line here with 5 minutes and 15 seconds to go, 2nd and 10. So right now, Badgen up under center, 1 back in the backfield. Going to give it to Johnson. Johnson gets back to the line of scrimmage before he's brought down. Might have picked up 1 yard on the play off the left end. And now we're looking at 3rd and 8 coming up here. Ball at the Chicago 47-yard line. So again, Badgett, I like what I'm seeing from Badgett there. 6 of 12, 96 yards passing and a touchdown. Not doing too much, but not trying to force it either. So you got to like that from your backup quarterback. When he goes out there and looks poised and makes the throws he has to make. But here we go. Shotgun formation here again from their own 46-yard line. 3 receivers, 1 tight end, 1 back. Badgett looking, dropping back, throws it over the middle short. He's going to have to make it do with his legs, and he does exactly that. Depending on where they spot the ball, to me, it looked like he got that 1st down there, but I got to see where that ball was when he went down. Still be enough for a 1st down, no, and I believe that that's the indication from the referee that it is indeed, yeah, that's a 1st down. That is a 1st down. So excellent job there by Alexander there because he had to put in the work to do the rest of the work to actually get that 1st down, and he did. With 4 minutes to go here in the 2nd quarter of play. Down by 3 points, 10-7. Bears, Badgen up under center here. The run play, up the middle, picks up 5 yards on the carry. Excellent carry there, and that was Salvon Ahmed with the carry, his 1st carry of the game. He's 5'11", 197 pounds. He actually played at Washington for college. Washington's been producing some good running backs as of late. I know the Broncos, I think, drafted one as well. Excited to see how he fits in that backfield, especially during the 2nd half of the season. As the people said, longtime Cowboys fan until Jerry Jones came along. Eventually, I had enough of the way the team was run and rooted for Broncos and Elway, Steelers, any good team except the Patriots. I like how you included that for the Patriots, considering I'm a Patriots fan there. But hey, certainly understand that. Certainly understand that there. Jerry Jones, I mean, I don't know what to say about Jerry. I mean, I really don't know what to say about Jerry, but he's taking this entertainment stuff to a whole nother level. I'm just gonna say it at that, a whole nother level. I mean, you play to win the game. As Herm Edwards said, you play to win the game. But Jerry's playing to win the media game. So that's an entirely different game. But hey, I guess when you got it like that financially and you want to increase it, that's what you do. All right, 1st and 10, bad hit. Oh, brought down by the neck. I didn't know we can do that in football. Grab a person by the neck and sling them down. But what a big time play there for the sack. And that was Julian Aguara. It brought him down there with his arm. Agent looks like he wanted a penalty there, but did not get it. So now they're looking at 2nd and 19. We're at the 2 minute warning mark. So 2 minute warning. They're down by 3, 10-7, and that sack makes it a 2nd and long situation coming up. From the Cleveland 41-yard line. They did not need that sack. But yeah, the great John Elway days. And when you say Steelers, was that around the time, obviously, like early Ben Roethlisberger's career before transitioning over to the Chiefs? As RC says, I'm still a Cowboys fan. We got this. You say a lot of tough times, but hey, you say you believe. Well, you know what, RC, at the end of the day, at least you're not a Jets fan. You got to feel good about that because what the Jets are going through year after year after year, no fan base should experience that type of misery. But as a Pats fan, I'm glad that they do. Let's see, RC says Bears could do better, trade backup than Badgett. You say, JB, I just think Bears Brass is being cheap. I'm not gonna say that they being cheap. I feel like he did earn that second contract, you know? Like it's not his job to go out there and to throw for 300 yards. That's not his job. What you want in a backup quarterback, when I think backup quarterback, I think about even for your Cowboys, for an example, back when y'all had Cooper Rush early on and stuff like that, just someone that can come in and be a game manager, efficient enough to where they give you an opportunity to win. Because it's so hard to have a backup quarterback that can come in and just keep things together, you know? So I mean, we saw what happened last year with Kansas City. You know, when you don't have a backup at all that can even do stuff like this, it gets bad. It gets ugly. You know, and I am not gonna sit and watch another game where Tim Boyle goes out there and quarterback for a team. I'm just not gonna do it. You know, so someone like Batchin, I'm okay with the Bears having him as a backup quarterback. I feel like he fits just what they need. They've already got the flashy starter and stuff like that. So should he be called upon, just goes in there, you know, just hold it down until Caleb come back. You know, should he need to step in there? Because if you have a backup quarterback that's too flashy, he's going to end up making too many mistakes. Because if he was a starting quarterback, if he was that great, he'd be a starter. So I'll take this. I'll take this. And again, we're currently right now at the 2 minute warning here with the score right now. Browns 10, Bears 7. Let's compare these two quarterbacks. So both teams have stuck with their quarterback so far throughout this entire first half here. Deshaun Watson got the start here for Cleveland, and so far he's 11 of 13 for 126 passing yards. He did fumble the ball, which led to the Bears, you know, eventually driving down and scoring a touchdown because Cleveland was up 10-0 before that. And then Badgett, he is 8 of 14, 112 yards passing and a touchdown. So both quarterbacks right now not throwing interceptions, which is good. We just need to see some more touchdowns. Would be nice for Watson to get a touchdown here before halftime to help his cause. Who do you guys want to see win the starting quarterback job down there in Cleveland? Wait a minute, is Jackson Dart going to the tent? Do my eyes deceive me that Jackson Dart really just go to the tent right now again? Oh my goodness! You know what? He is. Oh my goodness! I spoke too soon. An interception. Oh my goodness. Y'all, that's on JB right there. That's on me. I think I jinxed him. I think I jinxed him. I just gave him too much credit. Then he went out there and he just, let me see that replay. What happened here? Okay, so you're staring down your receiver there, underestimated how quickly Davis can get to that football. And yeah, he was staring at that receiver the entire time there. Oh man. Let's see. Pebble says, you went to college at Texas Tech. They had Mike Leach and Cliff Kingsbury, a great quarterback coach. Then Pat Mahomes came along, and we got to see his talent before he was famous. That led me that led you to become a Chiefs fan. Okay, so Patrick Mahomes, you saw greatness before greatness was greatness. I remember my thought process when I thought of Patrick Mahomes coming to the draft. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I thought he was going to be amazing and stuff like that. But when I saw that he was going to Andy Reid and the Chiefs, I thought to myself, I said, okay, he might end up being another Brett Favre. That's what I really thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be, a lot of gunslinger, some turnovers, because, risky plays and stuff like that. I didn't know that that's a way that you can, play it at that high level at that time, that you could be a gunslinger like that without the turnovers. Because Brett Favre, when he did it, it was a ton of turnovers. Now, I am thinking about the older Brett Favre, of course, but even back in his day, he'll turn the ball over occasionally. So, but man, I could have never been prepared for the type of career that Patrick Mahomes ended up to have. So that's great that you got to see it. That's what I love about college football, getting a glimpse of the future NFL, and it's just so fun to watch them play at the collegiate level. Because when I think Texas Tech, I think of two people immediately when I think Texas Tech, at least offensively. I think Patrick Mahomes offensively, and I also think of, and it's funny I say that and then I forget his name, Michael Crabtree. Michael Crabtree, I think, um, also went there. Our RC says he wants to see Shador. All right, 1st and 10. Watson on the move. And Watson goes out of bounds there. Let's see. RC says Dart should have played 1 or 2 series and been out of the game. I mean, yeah, like I don't know what they're doing. They better hope. Well, what's the injury? Please tell me it's not concussion related and stuff like that, because that he's had stuff like that so much already for his very young career. I'm concerned for the kid. In all honesty, I'm concerned for the kid. So I hope he's okay, but that's extremely, extremely terrible. All right, throws it incomplete. Let's see. Arthur says, I got a good dinosaur movie I want you to see. It's from 2005. So I believe it's called Sound of Thunder. 2005 Sound of Thunder. Let me actually write that down, because if it's a dinosaur movie, your boy JB he wants all of it. He wants all of it. So, all right. So he said, no. So I'm just making a note here because JB will check it out. 2005. Meanwhile, Watson throws it and just bobbles it off Marshall's hands here, incomplete. Even if he caught the ball, it wouldn't have been much there, but incomplete. So that leaves a minute 30 to go here in the second quarter of play. People says, of course, he said Texas Tech's defense was terrible those years, and so, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. But I remember Crabtree when he came out, got drafted there by San Francisco. Of course, Mahomes did his thing there. So, oh yeah, the program certainly has changed from offense to defense. It certainly has changed. All right, so we got a minute 30 here before halftime. Browns better punt the ball. They are up 10-7 here, but they're going to leave about a minute 20 for the Bears to do what it do, and the Bears have all 3 timeouts to work with as well. Let's see. Ryan says, let's see. RC says a top level company offers elite clients prehistoric dinosaur hunt. Strict rules forbid leaving pathways. A hunter steps off the path and kills a prehistoric butterfly, setting off catastrophic issues. Ah, okay, 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 okay. Yeah, that does sound interesting. That does sound interesting. What types of dinosaurs do? Well, yeah, yeah. What type of dinosaurs do they have in it? All right, so we got a 1st and 10 here for the Chicago. I can still say Chicago Bears. Badgen throws it short to the back of the backfield. The back got to make somebody miss, but he does not. Get stripped up, brought back at the line of scrimmage there. He would have had to make that guy miss to have an opportunity to turn that into something. But now you got 2nd and 9. A minute and 8 seconds left to go here before we reach halftime. All right, another short completion there and brought down the 20-yard line. Again, got to make people miss here. But 3rd down coming up here, 3rd and 4. You don't want to get a ball back to Cleveland and allow them time to do something. You better stop with Tubi, RC. Man, those Tubi movies, man, they be getting me, man, RC. They be getting me. Tubi movies, and then whenever you go, and you're watching an Amazon movie and it's free, and like I remember they did their own version of like Children in the Corn. I'm trying to remember what the name of this movie was, but it was on Amazon, it was free, and they literally had cardboard like that they were running through, and it was the worst graphic presentation I had ever seen and stuff like that. That one and another one that I saw for free there, I stopped watching at that point. That was a couple years ago. I had to stop. It was the worst acting I had ever seen. Like I'm like, did they literally just find a fifth grader and say, "Hey, just think of a plot. We'll just go out there, use a cheap budget, put it out there. Who cares?" Because it was terrible. All right, so Chicago did indeed get the first down, big time first down too. Keeps the drive alive, keeps Cleveland from getting the football there. Call a timeout. Now you've got 48 seconds to work with. Let's see. So ain't that Chicago Bears there? And so yeah, it's still Chicago. Even if they do, move the Hammond and then become the Hammond Bears or however they want to go about it. Badgett throws it. Nice completion. Nice completion to Davis near the sideline there. Got a first down. Got out of bounds there. That's exactly how you draw it up. That's what happens when you give a quarterback a clean pocket at this level. You got to give those offensive linemen credit. All right, 42 seconds here before halftime. Trying to see if we can at least tie it up, if not take the lead. Shotgun on the run. Badgett running. Slide. Something that a lot of young quarterbacks must learn to do. All right, going to hurry it up here. 34 seconds here. Try to save the timeout if possible. All right, so they end up calling a timeout. RC says, JB, I'm a T Rex when someone put some fried chicken in front of you. Oh, man. RC said, that sounds like a movie that never should have been green lit. You said you don't watch Tubi. The backlash has been brutal. I'm telling you, but the one I was talking about there on Amazon, it was the worst movie I had ever seen. I mean, I've seen some bad ones, including another one that was on Amazon, but that one was the worst one I had ever seen. Like the entire plot made no sense of what they were trying to do. Cardboard sharks, cardboard background, like people just running through carrying cardboard. It was the worst thing I'd ever seen, RC. Like worst thing. That's when I realized sometimes if you want something decent, you just got to pay. You can't watch the free stuff. It's bad. I just couldn't believe somebody would put that up there. But speaking of good stuff, though, like Davis is making some plays on this drive here. He really is. He's got 4 catches today for 88 yards. He's making it do what it do. Hayden Davis, number 27 for Chicago. Archie says, JB, they say that even if you overeat unhealthy foods, you can still gain. That's true. That's true. A lot of times it's portions. That's what does us in. It's the portions of what we eat and stuff like that, usually. All right, but you got 28 seconds here to work with if you're Chicago. Trying to take a shot or two, perhaps in the end zone. I believe they've got no timeouts to work with. All right, shotgun. Davis at the top of the screen here for the Bears. Badgett looking, throws it over the middle and incomplete. I mean, my man tried to snag that, but that was dangerous there. You put in the tight coverage. You put my man at risk with a pass like that. Yeah, he tried to split coverage there. Incomplete. All right, so here we go. Second and 10. 23 seconds on the clock here before we reach halftime. Looking. Oh, brought down for the sack. That's what you did not need was a sack like that. Third down. Now, situations like this where it's like, okay, y'all ain't even running a second off the clock. It stayed 23 ever since he snapped the ball, basically. All right, 15 seconds, 12 seconds, third and 21. Might want to complete something short, about 5 yards near the sideline, but that's not what they're going to do. They're just going to go ahead and clock it, let the field goal kicker come out, and try to make it this time. Now, again, Santos missed the earlier field goal from 50 yards out. Can he convert this one? As Rusty says, Amazon Prime be having some decent picks for movies and shows. Oh yeah, like the paid stuff for show, for show. The free stuff, don't want it. As Rusty says, I want to check out that show called Reach. I haven't seen it, but heard a lot of good stuff about it. Speaking of Reach, a 51-yarder here, if he can connect with this, can tie it all up. Kicks on the way, and the kick, it is good. So he redeems himself here with the field goal, and we're all tied up here 10-10 in this one. Wow. Ah, it's actually called Reacher. Okay, okay. But if you ever check it out, let me know your review on it, RC. All right, so yeah, just to recap Deshaun Watson's day, one must assume that it's going to be done. He was 11 of 15 for 126 yards passing in this one. No touchdowns, no interceptions, but he did fumble it, and what a fumble it was. Let's see, you said who you think will be the best two teams in the NFC, and then consequently, who do you think will be the best two teams in the AFC after all the dust settles? When everything settles, I, in my heart of heart, feel like the Rams are going to be one of the best two. And I feel like Seattle's going to be up there, but I don't know if they're going to be top two. I'm going to say like top three, but I just feel like it'll probably end up being the Rams. And if things go well for the Eagles, they could end up with that defense. I still believe in Jalen Hurts and company. I feel like they're going to be rejuvenated. Saquon Barkley, I feel like it's going to bounce back. So I'm saying right now, I'm going to go Rams and Eagles in the NFC. I know the Eagles have some question marks there, but I think that by the end of the season, they will figure out those question marks. And as far as the AFC goes, top two in the AFC, I'm going to say, I'm going to say Broncos are up there, and I'm going to say Houston Texans up there. I'm going to say Texans and Broncos, top two in the AFC when the dust settles. So that's what I'm going to go with. Arquita Santos is the Bears field goal kicker. Yes, he is. I feel like he's been so many different places. It's hard to keep tabs, but yes. Let's see. Mike says, how's the game going? The game's going quite interesting. You see, I'll recap for you the stats. So here's what took place so far, Mike. So for Deshaun Watson, obviously he's got his quarterback competition with Shador. We'll see Shador in the second half, but he was 11 of 15 for 126 yards passing, no interceptions, but no touchdowns also thrown in this one. But he did fumble the ball in which they lost, and that fumble was a big fumble. Hey, it was a fourth down, so even if he wouldn't have fumbled the ball, they would have got the ball anyway. So I won't hold that against them too much. But as for the Chicago Bears, Badgett, he was 13 of 22 for 169 yards passing, one touchdown. Now he did throw one interception. He was staring down the receiver, threw one interception there. But Davis at receiver number 27, Davis, he has 4 catches for Chicago for 88 yards, and so he's been balling out there. Johnson's been running hard when he was running out there. He had 8 carries for like 34 yards. And as for Cleveland, Sampson had that one big catch there for Watson with that like one catch at the backfield for 43 yards there. So a lot of yak on that one. And then Concepcion, he looked great out there, whether it was returning kicks, whether it was actually getting a carry out the backfield, playing a little bit of receiver there. He has that explosiveness you can tell to him. It's just a matter of quarterback giving him every opportunity to maximize his potential out there. So it was good. Does anybody have an update out of the Dak Jackson Dart injury that we saw earlier? Let's see, Mike says watching the Bills and the Panthers. How's that game going? Or she says, JB, you got 4 seasons. Reacher does. You say, when I'm supposed to find time to watch 4 seasons quickly, I guess the WNBA off season is going to be when you're going to have the time to do it, RC. That's what I guess. Because I mean, JB has taken time to watch a couple, mostly Netflix shows back in the day, like stuff like the 100 and stuff like that. I actually finished the entire 100. I've seen Lost, all of their episodes before, but that was like a long time ago. But recently, yeah, JB doesn't have time for a lot of these episodes. Before COVID, though, yeah, I had some time. Or even during COVID, I feel like that freed up some time for a little bit. Let's see, Mike says Eagles swap Lennon for AJ. Let's see. Mr. JB says he says the Rams, and he's also saying Buffalo for his top 2 teams for this upcoming season. Okay. Let's see. People says previous question. Naturally, I disliked Chuck Knowles during the Cowboys' glory days up to Troy Aikman, and the same with anything Patriots because you were our biggest rivals. And so, okay, I understand that. I understand that. I certainly understand that. Let's see. RC said, I like how JB just totally forgot about Josh A in Buffalo. Let's see. People says, but once I ex did the Cowboys, you say I liked Howard and Tomlin, and of course Roethlisberger. Now I loved the young Ben Roethlisberger, the Roethlisberger that was going to stand in the pocket, shake somebody off, go out there, move and stuff. And when he first came into the league, Big Ben was a winner. I don't think people remember when he first hit the scene and he was out there like, because the Steelers started Tommy Maddox week 1. Tommy Maddox got hurt. So Ben Roethlisberger took over, and then next thing you know, he didn't just take over; he took over. It all came together. Him, Jerome Bettis, Deuce Staley out the backfield, Hines Ward, Plexico Burris. It just came together for that Pittsburgh Steelers team. And shoot, they even beat my team in the regular season in that process, and the Eagles. I think in back-to-back week. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it was back-to-back weeks. And back then, that was the Eagles that had Terrell Owens, Donovan McNabb the first year before they were enemies when they were still good on good terms. And so those were clearly the 2 best teams between the Patriots and Eagles. But then the Steelers came up and stole that thunder early on until the playoff when my team finally, avenged that loss and beat them and went on to win the Super Bowl. But the Steelers will win the next year's Super Bowl. Archie said the 100 was good, but I didn't finish it at all, though. How far did you get? Like, how many seasons did you get? Archie said, JB, another show that was lit? Heroes. And he says, I guess I better get my Drew Allard jersey on back order. Oh man, so Jackson Dart actually had another concussion, but he did return to the game. Wait, hold up, wait a minute. Y'all let JB know, when was it possible that once you get a concussion evaluation that you can return to the game? I thought there was a thing that once they evaluate you for the concussion, you could not come back to that game. Uh, I know that used to be a rule. I guess it's no longer a rule. JB must have been up under a rock. Let's see, people said he was a mountain of a quarterback. Yes, he was. Like the young Big Ben. I mean, yeah, tough to bring down. Solid guy, solid guy. Like people just don't understand how hard it was to bring him down. Let's see, Mr. JB said, I said Buffalo because of the late news of the stadium. Okay. As Yossi says, JB, who was more of a physical presence for you at quarterback in their prime? Who, Dante Culpepper, Ben Roethlisberger, Steve McNair, like tough. Steve McNair had a different type of strength. Like you ever seen a person, they don't lift weights, but they have that natural like farmer strength. Steve McNair had that natural type of strength about him. This it wasn't so much about something that he just, worked out for. He just naturally had that from what I understand and remember of the late Steve McNair and stuff like that. But in terms of like physical presence in the pocket, you mentioned three really, really good quarterbacks there, in all honesty. And how they used it was a little different there. So, in terms of just bringing down, purely bringing down, I'm going to stick with Big Ben. In terms of just physical physique and stuff like that, oh man. Steve McNair, just naturally, like in terms of natural strength. Um, Dante Culpepper, he's a big one as well. But yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna lean towards Steve McNair closely, but next would be Ben Roethlisberger there. But man, that's a good question there, RC. Great question. Let's see, RC said, who's winning that game? The Giants or the Vikings? Let me take a quick look. And again, if you're tuning in, listening in, we are currently right now at halftime tied 10-10. And in the second half, we will get to see Shador Sanders for those of you that are interested in seeing how this competition plays out here for Cleveland, because they got to get this right, man. If Cleveland had a quarterback, do you know how that would change our entire perspective of Cleveland? I want you guys to remember what people thought about the Patriots last year in terms of, how many wins did everybody think New England was going to get? They thought no more than maybe 4 or 5. I remember people saying a couple of us were thinking maybe 7 or 8 and stuff like that, but nobody expected what we saw last year and stuff like that. But it's because why? We had a quarterback. So if the Browns had a quarterback, they could elevate so much. They've already got a great defense. They just need a quarterback. All right, but to answer the question here, so the Giants are up 10-3. All right, see, they're up 10-3 in the third quarter with about 12 minutes and 41 seconds to go. Meanwhile, Buffalo is beating Carolina 13-7 in that matchup. Buffalo also played their starters in that one. RC said, tell me about it. You said I was watching a WNBA game on Prime Thursday, and a player named Jakara Austin slapped her head on the court, and like 5 minutes later, she was back in the game. I was like, huh? Yeah, I really thought that they had really said that for concussions, once you get to the point where you're being evaluated, because I remember there were some quarterbacks that were livid a couple of seasons ago because they felt like they could still play, but because they got called to be checked for a concussion, they could not enter into the game again. I mean, because I get it. If they're really not concussed and stuff like that, I do want them back in, but at the same time, can we trust the coach that knows his job is on the line to do what's right for the player and keep him out or try to force him back in? Is what they're probably going to try to do. That's tough. That's tough. That's tough. She says, JB, it's time for a blast from the past. Name you ready? Jamarcus Russell, or as I called him, Jamarcus Ruffles, because he couldn't stop eating. Oh man. I mean, Jamarcus Russell, Eddie Lacy, guys like, because Eddie Lacy, the forgotten guy from Bama, he ate his way out of the league, essentially. What else? What was that receiver name that was drafted out of Florida State? I think was he Jameis Winston go-to receiver? What was it? It's like Benjamin, I think was in his name, but I can't remember his name exactly. But yeah, he also picked up weight. So yeah, some guys did eat their way out of the league. So yeah, we are ready for the second half whenever it gets started. As Mr. JB said, you thought 2 games. So you were thinking 2 games. Let's see. People says conflict of interest for the coach, the doctor trainer has to make the call. And so, yeah, if they're leaving it up to the trainer, and we got to have a neutral trainer, because these trainers, they know what it is. You get the coach, the team, what they really want. They got to go back in there. Your salary going to be where you want it to be. So it's got to be like a neutral coach that's got no skin in the game, just doing what's best for the player. But also at the same time, I know as a doctor, you naturally lean towards like, hey, let's not risk it. It's not worth the risk. Take them out. So it's tough. It's tough. RC said these aren't even linemen either. Let's see. RC says, when is my next stream? Good. Yeah. So my next live stream is going to be my talk show with me, Zoe, Nash, and Old Man, and it's going to be Wednesday. So this upcoming Wednesday will be my next live stream for my talk show. Now my next play-by-play. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do Thursday next week just because my wife has an event at her job. And so I may have to, end up picking her up and stuff. So if that's the case, I won't be able to stream that day. But if I'm not able to stream that Thursday, for sure that following Saturday, I'll be able to stream. So it's possible it could be next week, Saturday, but I'm gonna see about Thursday if we can figure something out. So that should be Wednesday for sure next week, Saturday for sure next week. All right, short pass there to start off the third quarter and get the completion and our first down. That's Carlson there with the reception at tight end, Stephen Carlson. And that's Case Keenum in there at quarterback right now for the Chicago Bears. You guys remember Case Keenum. He's been around the league for a little minute now. He spent time at Minnesota, Houston. Trying to think where else has Case Keenum been. Yes, sir. It says, like, meanwhile, oh, wow, look at that nice carry there. And that's Ahmad here. Picks up 12 yards on the carry. He's now got about 2 carries for 17 yards so far in this one today. Mr. Archie says, I gotta go to a family event at the park in 2 hours. Hopefully the weather isn't crazy. Man, the weather's been super crazy. Archie says, basically like a forecast preserve. I'm just glad it's like 10 blocks away and I ain't gotta go far. Oh man, those are the days. All right, play fake. Case gets away. Hold up now. Hold up now. Hold up. Hold up now. Does this guy want his job? Because how do you let Case Keenum break away when Case didn't even really fight that much to break away? Like, he just slipped out of there. That's insane. As people says, I feel for players like Tua who play with fear of concussion all the time. His Sapp is such a great quarterback. And so, yeah, Tua, oh man, oh man. Him and Hamlin from Buffalo, the two injuries that they had, I mean, that just makes you realize that these players, they are really risking more than just, their finances. They're risking their body, the minds, like the time on this earth. Like they are really, and to have it, like happen consecutively like that in such a manner, I mean, extremely scary. If I was a family member of Tua, I would have told him to retire and, become a coach and stuff like that. I'd have been like, because remember Andrew Luck, he chose his safety, his well-being to retire as opposed to, going out there and continuously just putting your body on the line. Andrew Luck, smart guy, went to Stanford, was like, I can't keep doing this if I'm going to have a decent quality life after football is done, because I understand that decision there. But Tua, he wants to do this. But if I was a family member of Tua, someone that truly is close to the man, I'd have been like, you might want to get into coaching or something like that. But I do think Tua is going to win the job in Atlanta. It's just a matter of can the offensive line protect him? He really needs an offensive line to protect him. Let's see. Mike says, what happened? We talking about the game over here? Because right now, oh wow, I was so focused on that comment there that even I missed the touchdown. I look up, I see Chicago's up 17-10. So yeah. All right, let's see. My bad, I didn't even read that one. RC said, JB, do you think a player can have such a dazzling, great preseason that coaches can decide to keep that player on a real roster? Oh, yeah, absolutely. You know what? The best example that I can give you of a player playing his way in the preseason and then keeping a spot because of the preseason and it worked out was the legendary, TD Terrell Davis. Terrell Davis he got the coach's attention. They talked about in the preseason on special teams because he went and laid a guy out on a kick return, and they was like, "Oh my, wow, who was that?" So then after that, it kept him on the roster and we all know what happened after that. He made the most of that opportunity, but he would have never had that opportunity if preseason did not exist. So, the great Terrell Davis, legendary Hall of Famer, him, yeah. So preseason does make a difference and gives guys an opportunity who before would not have gotten that opportunity. It's just a matter of, making the most of that opportunity. Let's see, Mike says, little sympathy, Bryce, Rusty, and Pickett stinks over there, put in trash. Is what's his face not playing? I forget his name. King, yeah, the one that they had from last game that played for Carolina in the Hall of Fame game. Is he not playing? I know he got hurt, so I wasn't sure if he's gonna play. It was a good pass, touchdown, the Bears. And so yeah, JB had missed it. But that was a 49-yard touchdown strike. Wow. Wow. See, Mike says you're rooting Tua to make his fortune, but avoid head. Yes, which is why Tua cannot scramble because I feel like his injuries come when he tries to scramble. He cannot scramble. Like he's got to give that up. I see Mike says Louisville King Edge early sack for Panthers. Louisville. All right, so Sanders. Is that Sanders? I think what RJ Sanders or something like that from where did he play at? Was it South Carolina, I think? A couple years ago, if my memory is correct, I think South Carolina. He was a running back there. Mike says Terrell Davis only had 2,000 plus yards in Denver Super Bowl years. Archie said, but you can't really lay nobody out no more like that. Like that. You're right. But you know what? It's for the betterment of the game. At first, I despised it, but you can get in some good hits. But I mean, we do want the player to get up after the hit. Oh, nice pass there and a completion. Okay, so that pass right there, Shador coming out, slinging it with his first pass there for 24 yards. And that's what I like about having Shador in the game is that he's gonna throw the ball deeper. You're gonna get more big plays out of him. That's right, King Haynes, or Haynes King. Mike said too much money not to risk it, JB. Oh man, a fumble already. Oh man, what is he doing? What is he doing? Shador, you cannot make that kind of mental mistake. A coach is not gonna trust you in the game with mistakes like this. Not the snap. Let's see, Mike says we just want Tua to be able to remember his fortune. Yeah, that's the big part of it. All right, second and 13. Tight end goes in motion. Three receivers, one tight end, one back here from the 49-yard line of the Bears. Sanders in the pocket. Sanders throws the ball. It's deflected into the air. Incomplete. Lucky for him, nobody was around. Let's see. Mike says, JB, no, I'm a fan of hard hitting technique tackles that no one get hurt. And so, yes, that's the key part there. 'Cause that's what helps you enjoy it. When you see a guy get laid out, but he's able to get back up. Because at the end of the day, there's two things we want. We want you to be able to get back to your family, and we want you to be able to go out there and continue to make more money. There is no worse feeling to watch as a fan than to see a player go down and to know he just played his last down. Oh, what a pass on third and 13. Oh my goodness. What a pass. Gotta love it. Wow, look at that. In the mix of pressure in his face, he stood there and threw it to the receiver. for a what's that, a 35-yard play. Look at that. Wow. And he knew he was going to get hurt. And he threw a beautiful pass, knowing he was going to get hurt at the last possible second. Wow. Two receivers, multiple tight ends, one fullback, one back in the backfield, 4 seconds on the play clock. Got to snap the ball. They do toss it here to the back in the back. Off the right side here, going to pick up about 2.5 on the play. Mike says AJ Dillon running back for Panthers, JB. And so yes, the good old AJ Dillon. I remember when he came out of Boston College. I slick did want my Patriots to draft him back then and stuff like that because he's a physical runner. I thought he reminded me a little bit of a slower version of what LeGarrette Blount became and stuff like that. But yeah, AJ Dillon. He dealt with some injuries. As the people says Marshall saved the bacon. That he did. Sanders in the pocket. Sanders looking. Sanders for the run. Sanders picking up about 3 yards there on the run. Taking it to the Chicago 9-yard line. Now you got to be able to come away with a touchdown here, Shador. If you can come away with a touchdown here, that would be big. You've got to show the coaching staff that when they put you in a game, you get points. Is there anybody here rooting for Deshaun Watson to win the competition? Just curious. Let's see. Mike says JB preseason games are most rewatchable games for football dorks like me to break down film. Yes. Let's see. People says the door has some arm strength, made it look easy. Yes. 3rd and 5. The door throws it short. I like that. I like that. He felt the rush, throw it short. Don't always try to be the hero. Take what you can there. If you have to come away with 3 points, that's better than a turnover. In a competition like this, you've got to show the coaches to where they're comfortable. But the fact that they feel like if you can't get it, you're not going to turn the ball over trying to force something that's not there. Let's see. Mike says, JB, how good Bears about to be? I'm going to put it like this. I'm going to put it like this. For the Chicago Bears, their biggest competition in the division is going to be the Minnesota Vikings this year. I do believe that Kyler Murray is going to do good enough to where Minnesota's going to be competent here. And so, on 4th and 1, they get stuffed. They get stuffed. I slick wanted to see a play fake, let Shador do his thing there, but they tried to run it to get the first, did not get it. Turnover on downs, and the Bears defense, they bend, but they don't break. But I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this. The Bears, they're going to be good. They're going to be good. It's just a matter of I do think they make the playoffs this year. I do think they make the playoffs this year. And I think that they make it to maybe the second round of the playoffs. But that's about what I'm thinking for the Bears. Second round of the playoffs is about what I'm thinking for Chicago. Let's see, Mike says this is an exclusive Shador Rootin chat. He said, but we good on Baker. Let's see. RC says Baker Mayfield overrated. I'm not going to say that Baker Mayfield's overrated because, in my opinion, I mean, Baker Mayfield, it's like I was saying on the talk show last Wednesday. Baker Mayfield to me is the epitome of a starting quarterback. What do I mean by that? In terms of if they're worse than Baker Mayfield, they need to worry about their job. If they're better than Baker Mayfield, their job is probably secure or they know they're going to make good money on the market. So Baker Mayfield is like basically where I draw the line as like, okay, for my starting quarterback, it starts at a Baker level or higher in terms of, in the NFL. But nah, Baker plays with a chip on his shoulder. Baker feeds his guys the football. Baker's all about winning. So Baker is not overrated because nobody's going around saying that Baker's a top 5, top 10 quarterback. Nobody's saying that. We're just saying he's good enough to be a starting quarterback, so not overrated. Mike says a lot of fans would have me think the Bears going to be great after one playoff season. They have to be careful now. They have to be careful. They must be careful here because the NFC does have some tough teams, and if Minnesota turns out to be good, it's possible the Bears could end up being a wild card or something like that. I honestly think that they might end up being a wild card this year. As we know from the NFL, success from one year does not always translate to the next year. And as we've seen with a lot of these young quarterbacks, think about what everybody was saying about the Commanders last year, right? Coming into the season, they're talking about the Commanders were supposed to be, this is going to be, they're going to take another leap. They're going to get back to where they were the year before. A lot of things can happen in a football season. Players get hurt, they play through injuries and stuff like that. Other guys get hurt, chemistry gets messed up. So football is a game of trying to you need luck. You need to be healthy. You have to rebuild the chemistry again. And then Caleb, he takes a lot of chances. Some of those chances in this year could turn into turnovers. You never know. So I'd say wild card probably is what I'm thinking. But still got them going to the second round because as a wild card, I think that they could still win on the road. As the people said stuff. But I'll say this about Caleb though. I love how he turned it on in the playoffs. It felt like the bigger the game got, the bigger his play got. And that's something that's huge because that's something I've never seen from Lamar Jackson. Never seen that from him. People said stuff. All right, quick pass there, caught by the slot receiver. He's at the 30, still in his feet here, brought down at the 40-yard line. So what a nice play. Let's see. RC says, JB, who do you enjoy playing more now that they are retired? Derrick Rose or Russell Westbrook? Oh, definitely Derrick Rose before the injury. Before the injury, D Rose. I really wish we could have saw how good D Rose would have been without injuries. See, Mike says Baker has never accomplished anything. All right, 1st and 10. I picked that too. Let's see, Mike says Eagle fans are the most defensive fans and defend hurts. Then the media baits and taunts them. Let's see. Again, 2nd and 7 here in the third quarter. We got about 7 minutes and 15 seconds to go here in the third quarter of play. Bears are up 17-10 right now. Mike says Brooks not great stats, but great to see him back. All right, meanwhile, Case Keenum moving around. Case Keenum with the football, and he throws this one out of bounds there. Is that Ray McLeod? That is Ray McLeod. The third one. Ray is everywhere, man. I mean, he spent time in Atlanta. He spent time in Pittsburgh, time in San Francisco. Ray's been everywhere, man. Shout out to Ray McLeod, making it do what it do in the NFL for this long. I mean, because I've been seeing his name everywhere. Let's see. Mike says, "Oh, Watson, I will root him if he puts in the work and goes back to top 10." I'm gonna shut that down right now, Mike. He will never, ever, ever, ever in this life form reach top 10 status again. And if he ever does, that means the NFL is in trouble because that means we lost a lot of talent. All right, quick pass there. I mean, I would like to see Watson return back to form. I'm just saying it's not gonna happen, but I would like to see what we saw when he was in Houston or just something close to that. That would be so much better for the Cleveland Browns if we could see something like that. It's an error on the side of Shador. Mike says Hurts is top 10 quarterback, but let's be honest, the disappointment last year from his top four seasons before. Yeah, last year was a disappointment. It was. There's no denying it. There's no denying it. He got away from what his game is. That's move them feet. Move them feet. Stick with the push, push. If everybody complain, let them complain. But what really hurt him last year was the fact that Saquon Barkley didn't have the type of season like he had the year before. You know, Obviously, A.J. Brown wants the football there, and as a quarterback, there's nothing more annoying than having to force feed the ball to someone rather than making your read for some of these quarterbacks. Now, some guys, hey, we just want somebody who wants the ball. We'll feed it to him. We're good with that. But for Jaden Hurts, he got to play. He's got to play now. That contract that he signed, you can't coast no more. You got to go out there and be hungry if you want another payday. All right, again, we're at the commercial here. Let's see. Mike says, he says, shout out Ray Cloud reference. Yes. Let's see. You say, don't forget In 19, Watson owned Allen. Hey, Watson even beat my team back in the day. I remember that. Him, Hopkins, that was it feels like such so long ago, but it really wasn't as long ago as it feels. But man, I remember that. Mike says, Cat, how good is Burrow actually? I mean, Burrow is good. All right. Burrow is good. Burrow just never has an offensive line. Burrow can never stay healthy long enough, but Burrow is still good. Like if you gave this man the like a top 10 offensive line, you would see how great Burrow is, you know. But like every quarterback, you need an offensive line. I mean, he's like a machine. If he could just stay healthy, look out. All right, again, still the commercial here. Again, we're here in the third quarter right now with the Bears leading 17-10 in this one. Appreciate that, people. Saying spot on regarding Burrow. So yeah, Joe Burrow. I watched Joe Burrow play. When Joe Burrow, he turns it up as the season goes on. It just elevates. It's just he's never had that offensive line. Never had that offensive line. You give this man a competent offensive line in front of him, watch out. Because they got the weapons, and he knows how to feed the weapons. He does. All right, Cleveland runs the ball, loses about a yard and a half on a carry there, and that was Marshall on the carry. So Marshall got 6 carries for 4 yards, not the stats you want so far in this one when you're given an opportunity. 5 minutes and 45 seconds to go here in the third quarter play. Second and 11 coming up. And again, next week, the streams that I have will be Wednesday for my talk show. And I know next week, Saturday, play by play. Thursday is a question mark because I got to pick up the wife there from a work event. So I'm not sure if I'll be able to Thursday or not, but definitely do check on the website. And if I do decide like that I'll be able to do it, I'll be able to post it within like 48 hours of it. If not, then I'll look and see if there's anything else that I can potentially stream as well. Yeah, I got to look and see some of the later games on Thursday also and see about that potentially. All right, but we got third and 5 here. 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. And now Shador trying to make it do what it do. Receiver goes in motion here. Shotgun. Snap the ball. Sanders in the pocket. Throws it. Incomplete. That was an extremely tight window. You got to throw it to someone else there. Fourth down coming up. He needs a better ownership and team investment, but quarterbacks are generally stuck in the NFL. I mean, we saw it with Carson Palmer in Cincinnati way back when, but you're right. You're right. You're right. Like they get stuck there, and then it's like you spend your entire career. All I can hope for is that as this man eventually, because right now they're spending all their resources on him, the wide receivers they have, and stuff like that. But at some point in the future, get this man a defense and just a capable offensive line at some point in the future. Give him a chance, give him a chance. Give him a chance. Do I think that it's a chance that he gets traded if Cincinnati goes left again? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Cincinnati would be foolish. And I don't think they want to go through another rebuild. Because I mean, you're just going to trade. Burrow is still young enough. We're talking about a quarterback who's still, at the early stages of his prime. And you trade him for what? Another quarterback that may or may not be. Who are you going to get? Dante Moore from Oregon? I have my doubts in terms of just how effective he's going to be at the NFL level. JB said what he said. I just don't know. You're going to trade him for to get Arch Manning? Whoever comes in going to have the same problems, probably even worse. Joe Burrow is an elite passer. If he just had an offensive line, everybody would remember if he stopped getting hurt. But what I saw from that preseason game, that offensive line ain't nothing. I mean, at all. At all. I will say this. Back in the day when they had Carson Palmer, they at least gave him some competent offensive linemen in front of him and stuff that he had a couple Pro Bowlers back then in front of him. But we're at the commercial here with the Bears up 17-10 so far in this one. All right, so let's take a look real quick while we have the time here. So far in this one for Cleveland, Deshaun Watson, 11 of 15 for 126 yards passing, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Then you've got Shador Sanders currently right now, 4 of 6 for 69 yards passing here. He's averaging about 11.5 yards to completion. Watson's averaging about 8.4 yards to completion. Sanders has ran it 2 times for 3 yards. Deshaun has ran it 3 times for 4 yards. As Darcy says, who do I think is going to be the next great young quarterback following in the footsteps of Brady and Mahomes? That is a good question, RC. Let's see this play real quick here from their own 39-yard line. And so Keenum throws it. Oh, nice pass on the sideline to my boy Ray McLeod again for the nice catch there. So, whoo, you asked the question right there, RC. Who do I think is going to be the next young great quarterback in the footsteps of a Brady or Mahomes? Honestly, I feel like RC, you answered the quarterback. I'm sorry, you answered the question right here. That quarterback does not exist because when you say Brady and Mahomes, that means who's going to be the guy that, you know, spearheads the next team that's going to win a bunch of championships and always, at least be in contention for a championship. And that's just not feasible as of right now because they first have to win the first one. Got to be a young quarterback to win the first one. Now, if Drake May would have won last time, I could have potentially said he's a candidate, but right now we don't have that candidate. We just don't. We just don't. We got a lot of young quarterbacks that will be great, but to dominate championship wise, to get there and be in that conversation, we're not there. All right, 2nd and 7. Gets the completion about a yard shy of the first down marker. Third down coming up. Case Keenum's looking good right now. 7 of 8, 117 yards passing, 1 touchdown, no interception. Case Keenum is doing his thing. As the Mike says, huge narrative this year. Will Mahomes bounce back to second best quarterback ever form? Mahomes has 2 things working for him finally. This is going to be the best running back that Patrick Mahomes has ever had in the backfield behind him since he's been in the NFL. That matters. That matters. I'm gonna tell you why that matters. I remember, I remember with Tom Brady, the year that we picked up Corey Dillon. Oh my gosh. Like everybody remembers when we had Randy Moss and stuff like that, but the best Patriot version in terms of like Super Bowl winning and stuff like that was when we had a guy like I'm sorry, Corey Dillon in the backfield when he came over from Cincinnati because he gave us a run game that we never had. We had guys like Antoine Smith, loved Antoine Smith. We had Kevin Falk back there, but we had a bunch of average guys in the backfield that just did their job very well. But having Corey Dillon get 1,500 yards rushing back then, that was so huge to give balance to us to where defenses had to respect our ground game, especially late in the year. That was so important. So, meanwhile, while I'm speaking, Case Keenum is cooking. He's in the kitchen cooking, guys. Don't let my conversation distract from that. He was cooking back then, but So having someone like Kenneth Walker III, people are underestimating how important that is going to be for Patrick Mahomes in the offense. And then it's going to come down to Rashee Rice because he's going to need to really be able to rely on Rashee Rice. I know he's got all the off the field stuff, but if he's really going to be playing all these games and he stays healthy, he's going to have to really be the guy offensively to give Mahomes that playmaker. So those two guys are so vital to Patrick Mahomes' success. So if you're telling me both of those guys, Kenneth Walker III and Rashee Rice, play the entire season or most of the season at a high level and stuff, then you can sprinkle in your Travis Kelce's in situations where, it makes sense and stuff like that. Now you have the Chiefs operating close to what they were before. It won't be exactly like they were before, but I've seen different shades of Tom Brady throughout his career to know it will be more than enough for Kansas City to be back to, competing for that division if those things work out. All right, 2nd and 4. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Touchdown. Chicago. Case. Keenum. Case. Close. In the end zone. What a play. And again, that was Britton Brown with a touchdown reception, his second catch of the game. He's got 12 yards receiving in this one. And look, all by himself. Where was the DB or linebacker or somebody? Wow. Let's see where we are. Mike says update chat. Meanwhile, the extra point, it is good. So right now the score is Chicago 24, Browns 10, 42 seconds left to go in the third quarter of play. So Mike says, update that Carolina quietly are only signing Bryce the 5th-year option. This still prove it quarterback. It's prove it year for him, and it's a prove it year for CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud played himself out of getting a big deal and stuff like that. So, but they like him enough to where they're like, look, we want you to just go out there and show us what you can do. Because any other team probably would have said, hey, we're great. Let's bring in a quarterback to come in and at least compete for the job. But he brought in no competition. They said, CJ Stroud, we're going to bank on you bouncing back for this team. Having Nico Collins come back, that's going to be huge for him. But we're going to have to see because Houston is a Super Bowl team if CJ Stroud can just play good. Mike says, shout out Antoine Smith. He knows. Let's see. RC said, I asked you and Nash on the show this, JB. Am I maybe wrong because I don't have 100% belief in the running back ability of Javonte Williams? Like, how good is he going to be for us, really? I'm going to answer that after this play here, but Cleveland's going to start off from their own 30-yard line. How good will Javonte Williams be? Javonte Williams will be better than you think. That's my answer. He's going to be better than you think. What you saw last year, he actually had a pretty good year last year. He was on my fantasy football team, so I did track him last year. He was doing good. I used to get mad because you got to take him out the game and then put in what's his name that you guys picked up to come in and get a couple carries that I felt like should have went to him. But in all honesty, he goes out there, he can get you 100 yards on the ground. He's another year removed from that injury, so he's going to be, hopefully that much more healthy and stuff. So he's going to be solid. I mean, how much more can he do? You guys are, a pass first team. So how much more can he do? He does what he needs to do. He gets you at least one touchdown, maybe even two if you let him and stuff like that. He gets you anywhere from 82 yards to about 115. So he does exactly what you need for the Cowboys. Let's see, RT said you said, oh, oh my, well, I'm tripping then. I'm tripping if I said Tom Brady for Kansas City. I am tripping. Let's see. Samuel says your JB was like the honey roasted peanuts. Oh man, Samuel. Meanwhile, a run play to the right side, and he's going to pick up about 4 yards on the carry there. And that was Sanders, Raheem Sanders, former South Carolina Gamecock running back. His first carry of the game of the game. I remember when he was coming out of the draft, and I was like, okay, so they're saying he might go undrafted, and I was slick hoping that my team would pick up a running back like Sanders because he was good at South Carolina. He's a physical runner, big physical runner. He'll never amaze you with speed, But it's those physical runners that are so hard to bring down that when they get going, look out. Yeah, Williams is with the Cowboys. He's with the Cowboys. Mike says, "Will Raiders rookie running back be great?" You talking about the running back that they had last? Well, you talking about Genty in his second year now? Will he be great? Is the question. I think he's going to be good. I think it's going to be good. I don't think that he will ever be what we think of when we think about, Jameer Gibbs, when we think about Bijan Robinson. I don't think he'll ever reach that tier. I don't think he'll ever quite be that S rank, but I can see him getting to B plus rank, A minus rank. It's just the Raiders are not quite that good a team yet. But if the Raiders ever become elite, I can see him elevating to like an A. But I don't think he'll ever reach like S tier, like the very, very top. No, that's just not what he's going to be. But he can be a B plus type running back, I feel like. Let's see. Mike says Kirk or Mendoza. Kirk is going to get the first crack at it. Kirk will, and in JB's humble opinion, Kirk Cousins needs to be the starting quarterback for at least half of the season, at least, I feel like. Mendoza did look good, but how many times do we have to sit back and watch a quarterback on a bad team start and then lose confidence? Y'all did it to Sam Darnold, sent him to the Jets of all places. Y'all sent Sam Darnold to the Jets. He's just now recovering in his career from that stint and stuff like that. So you got Mendoza there. Let him ride the bench until you. Who's he gonna throw? Who's he gonna throw the ball to other than Brock Bowers? Like what receivers is he gonna throw the ball to? In all reality, let's get him some receivers. Let's get some talent on the Raiders. The last couple games of the season, I'm okay with him starting that. But let's not ruin his confidence or ruin him because he gets hit too much and stuff like that right now. When we can just let Kirk go out there, earn his money, and then at some point late in the season, sure, we can make that transition. Or if the Raiders find themselves, 5-7 or something like that, then let Kirk finish it out. So, but yeah, I'm not in a rush to throw Mendoza out there this year because we need to give the kids some real talent to work with. All right, let's see. RC says, I wanted to see Jaden Blue play more. Well, you know what? Everybody in fantasy football was talking about Jaden Blue last year, but I ignored that. I was like, Javante's the guy. But you will get to see Jaden Blue play. You will get to see him. I remember him back at Texas. That was a nice kid. If he's fully healthy and you're telling me he's good to go, yes, that will happen. You'll see him come in. Both guys can eat in the offense. Speaking of eat, it's the fourth quarter now, and all right, get the completion there. First down. It was 3rd and 5, but they got the first down there for Cleveland. Shador threw it for 8 yards. All right, let's see. Mike says some rookie named Love first. Okay, okay, yeah. So Love with the Cardinals. Yeah, yeah. Now him, I think he's going to be great. The only question I have is just simply the fact that he's playing for the Cardinals. That's the only question that I have for him. But I will say this though. I see how much they ran him in the preseason. I'm gonna watch how that looks in the regular season because he did split carries at Notre Dame with Price. So maybe not year one use him like more than 240. No, probably no more than no more than 240 carries max is what I'm thinking if I was a coach and stuff like that. Especially if the season's not going nowhere. And newsflash, it won't. But I feel what you're saying. All right, 2nd and 8 here. Again, the Bears are up 24-10 right now. But the Browns, if they can score a touchdown, we can have a game, guys. As see, Mike says, oh, huge narrative W. All right, here we go. 2nd and 8. Shotgun formation. Shador, quarterbacking for the Browns, in the pocket. Throws it over the middle. Ball gets tipped. Incomplete. 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 All right, the JB is rich. He buys cashews. Man, JB hasn't bought cashews in probably about 2 years, honestly. Let's see. Mike says, will Jaden be a top quarterback again? Mike, you are asking a good question there because I can see a path to yes, I can see a path to no. If he's going to be smart about his body and he can stay healthy, fully healthy, then yes. he can be again, but it's tough. It's tough because he's so small. You can't help but think he's going to get banged up because of his size. Sanders throws it deep through an interception. What is he doing? He don't lost the competition. He don't lost the competition. Throw the flag in now. Because what was that? What you overthrew the man by a mile. What is he doing? What is he doing? Oh my goodness. Well, I think Jaden can be a top quarterback. I just don't think it'll be top 10. I just don't think it'll be top 10, but he can be. The addition of Stephon Diggs is going to help him more than people realize because he needed more than Scary Terry outside. So I was happy they picked up Diggs. Diggs is going to bring a lot of heart to this team if he can just stay focused, which I know he will. Let's see, Mike says, oh, good point. Terrible receiving corp. I said I need to ask JB some. Oh, Bourne, good. And so you talking about what's it, Kendrick Bourne? All right, so that Browns defense getting back there, getting after it. And you got to get the ball back to your offense here. But that's terrible right there for Shador. Throwing the interception right there. This is why Deshaun Watson is getting the first crack at it here. Because Deshaun understands at the very least he cannot turn the ball over. Coaches love players that don't turn the ball over. And while Shador pushes it downfield, what's up with that one? That accuracy was off. Hey, but Bourne is capable though. I'll say that. He is capable. All right, second and 12, throws it incomplete. Incomplete. Tried to fire it in there. Now you got third down coming up, third and 12. The clock stops. 12 minutes and 44 seconds to go. This is Miller Moss. So Miller Moss, that's another USC quarterback, ain't it? Miller Moss. Man, USC be representing. As the article says, who do I like more, Bucky Irvin or Ashton Genty? Oh man, RC, I can't help but think fantasy football there. I mean, Ashton Genty, I do like him more and stuff like that, but I find Bucky Irvin for fantasy purposes to be a bit more safe. I still have question marks about the Raiders' offense not scoring enough, but Ashton Genty, talent-wise, oh, without doubt, Ashton Genty for sure. All right, so we got timeout called here. Let's see, Mike says, "Oh, Cardinals," and so, oh yeah, I got you, I got you. Yes, you RT said, JB, hold on, bro. You said, hold on to the handlebars. You only got 15 more minutes. JB, don't fade yet. You got this. Holding on for 15 minutes. Leslie Samuel says, you want the wife to join the stream there? Oh, man. Good luck with that. She will be so camera shy. She will run away from the camera. So, let's see. Mike says, JB take on image likeness with Jaden and LSU. Ooh. Mm, First of all, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this first of all. I don't think that this is Jaden talking. I think that this is Jaden's camp talking for him. But to my understanding, Jaden Daniels had a previous agreement with the former LSU coach, um, Brian Kelly, about them not using his jersey. So it was promised to him that they were not going to use his jersey and stuff like that. But obviously, new coach comes in, the heck with what the old coach said and stuff like that. And you're an alumni anyway, so I certainly understand Lane Kiffin there. In all honesty, you should want to wear your jersey. In all honesty, the kid did call you and ask for permission to wear your jersey. You said no and stuff like that. But you should want the next generation to come in and wear your jersey. And let's not be too greedy and stuff like that with the whole image and likeness stuff. You're in the NFL, you're making money. It's not going to hurt you to let somebody else live out their dream. They want to wear number 5 at the school you played at. I never understood that. I never understand that. You cannot force retire your own jersey. You just can't do it. So to me, it's petty. It sends the wrong message because I know Jaden's not that type of guy. I know he's not that type of guy. Or at least I like to think he's not that type of guy. There's some guys at Arizona State that probably think otherwise or that played at Arizona State. But it's a bad look. It's a bad look for him. And I hate that for him. I hate that for him. You know. So that's how I feel about it. All right, so Chicago's about to punt the ball here. We got 12 minutes and 30 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter of play. And so, oh, nice effort, but not the result you're going to want there. Let's see. RC says Shador is a rusty. I mean, he threw that pass like me. Like you just heave it up there, and hope for the best. Mike said that, yeah, Watson played the first half. Mike, Watson was 11 of 15 for 126 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. And that's basically, with Deshaun Watson, you're going to have games like that if you put him in the starting lineup. He's not going to throw the ball that deep, but he will get a couple completions. But my thing is, it'll be like 3rd and 8. Watson might get you a 5 or 6 yard completion. He might run for 2, 3, 4 yards or something like that, but not get you that first down. Whereas Shador, he can get you that first down. He can maybe even get you a touchdown, but then he'll turn the ball over. And coaches hate turnovers. They really hate turnovers. But let's see if he can redeem himself with a touchdown. You threw a pick, you got to throw a touchdown. As see, Mike says, UFL Ian Wheeler this year built camp. Let's see. He said Camp Hero scored a touchdown. And so Black Medicine was good. Was good. Well, Shador threw an interception last time out there. He overthrew the receiver by at least 7 yards to the DB. So I don't know how that happened, but he turned the ball over. Before that, though, he was doing pretty decent, I feel like. Before that, he was doing pretty decent. He made a couple nice throws. He did throw some nice throws. He was 6 of 11 for 79 yards passing, but he did throw one interception. Deshaun Watson was 11 of 15 for 126 yards passing, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but he fumbled the ball. So technically, both quarterbacks turned the ball over. So Samuel says, "Hey JB, maybe someday meeting you and stuff like that." And so, oh man, Samuel, that would be amazing, man. That would be amazing. All right, let's see. Mike says, "W take, don't shut door behind you." You say so. Watson Prime definitely behind. Oh, without question, it is behind him. Like when I say we're behind him, Mike, I'm talking about like the smoke from a car that was built in the 1920s, man. Like I'm talking about, it's far behind him, far behind him. Like man, it says good for Watson. He may require a long, deep tissue massage at the end of this one. Like Mr. says, good job, Samuel. Oh man. All right, so here we go. Run play, and we have Raheem Sanders on the carry, former South Carolina Gamecock. And we've got Dylan Gabriel in there, huh? Okay, so Dylan Gabriel. I forgot Dylan Gabriel's even on the team still. I want to see Talon Green. That's who I wanted to see. All right, 2nd and 6. Gabriel throws it short, gets the completion. And Sanders about a yard shy of that first down marker, picked up 5 yards on the catch. Mike says, full disclosure, only watch so much Brown. I tell you what, though, last season, I remember when the Browns upset the Green Bay Packers. You guys remember that game? Like they pulled that upset off. That was a nice upset last year. All right, 3rd and 1. Shotgun. And Dylan's going to keep it himself here and run for the first down. Picks up about a good 5, 6 yards there on the carry. Takes it to the Cleveland 35-yard line. Again, 10 minutes and 52 seconds left to go here in the game. In this one, Fedora Sanders' day is done. Dylan Gabriel's in there at quarterback on this drive, trying to do something. 3 receivers, 1 tight end, 1 back from their own 35-yard line. And it goes down. Mike says some teams not good at drafting quarterback. That is true. Some teams are not good at drafting quarterbacks, and then others are just not good at developing quarterbacks. Think about the Jets, and I know I mentioned them before, but they drafted Sam Darnold. They just couldn't develop him. You know, some teams just can't develop. Some teams just can't draft. But you know what? Not only could they not draft quarterbacks, they also could not sign a quarterback. I mean, honestly, who's been through more quarterbacks than the Cleveland Browns have been since the year 2000? Every single year, I feel like we're talking about two, three different quarterbacks. I mean, it just is an ever changing door for these guys. They never get it right. You would think that many quarterbacks, at some point, you got to get it right. I mean, Tim Couch wasn't enough. Kelly Holcomb, not enough. And then they went and got guys like Jeff Garcia, even when he was with the Browns, it wasn't that great. I mean, they started what, Luke McCown? I mean, the Browns they've been through it, man. Brandon Whedon, Johnny Manziel. I didn't mean to, make this but they've been through some quarterback. Brown fans know that y'all been through some quarterbacks, man. Like third and 13. Oh my goodness, Dylan. Just because you went to Oregon doesn't mean you got to throw a duck. That was terrible. Who was he trying to throw to? I think he pressed the wrong Madden button. Like, what is this? What is this? Black Mason says, so Watson is the projected starter. As it stands right now, Watson did get the first start, but I think that they're planning to start Shador in the next preseason game. But right now, Watson has to be the projected starter. He's got to be. Mike says, yeah, poor Browns. I mean, it's just been bad, man. Like, it's just, they started Trent Dilfer. They started, man, Charlie Fry. They went through they went through it. Brady Quinn. Like this sounds like a blackmail list, honestly. Like it's bad. All right, play fake for the Bears. Go deep, man. Go deep. He's gonna go deep into the end zone, and it's incomplete. Oh my goodness, Davis. The one thing that can stop him, the ball being a little short. So you say Clown Manziel. See, Mike says, is Darnold actually good finally? He's stabilized. You put talent and good coaching around him, he's good. But my question is gonna be this time, without the offensive coordinator that they had last year, can he keep it at that same level? I think we see small regression, but not a big regression. I think Sam Darnold is here to stay as a starting quarterback. But you know who else? When Geno Smith went to Seattle, he did pretty good. But when he's with the Jets, he did not do good at all early in his career. So the Jets just, not that they can't find the talent, they can't develop it. Like Mason says, Flacco, Couch, Reedon, Manziel, Watson, Brady Quinn, Derek Anderson. Hey, Derek Anderson led them to a playoff. He said, a casserole of nonsense that they have acquired in many different ways. I mean, at this point, man, it's a lot, man. It was a lot. I feel really bad for the Browns fans, man. They deserve better than this. No team deserves to go through this long without a franchise quarterback. You know, they did draft Baker Mayfield if I didn't include him, but oh man. As your Mike says, JB, it's like when you lose a great quarterback, just draft another one like Patriots. It's so easy. Not just us, San Francisco, Montana to Young, So although ours wasn't directly quite as quick as I would have liked it to be, but hey, it worked out. It worked out. I'll give old man credit. He was absolutely right about Drake May, as opposed to me wanting the Patriots to take Marvin Harrison Jr. at that time. Looking back on it, it is very comical. But yeah, because the Browns, they can get everything else right. Like they went out there. Nick Chubb had a tremendous career in Cleveland. Guys like Joe Thomas and so forth. Like the Browns can draft some legendary guys, but they don't get the quarterback that they need. And quite frankly, I'm trying to think. Somebody correct me here for the Cleveland Browns here. I'm trying to think of some of the best receivers that the Browns have had. And don't say Josh Gordon with the 1 year that he had there, but some great receivers that the Browns have had. Is maybe I'm just not thinking clearly. I'm trying to think about the receivers that the Browns have had that have been good over the years. RC says Browns have a history of having a big spoiled pot of gumbo. What why you gotta add that part, RC? Let's see, Mike says, JB, I think in my mind I was like, give me a break, old. It's over, Maze, but I was wrong. And so I really didn't think it was going to happen this fast, Mike. I thought we were going to have to pay the crime of being too good too long and then have to suffer for a long time, especially the direction we were going. Like just before Mike Vrabel got there, like, Gerard Mayo. Oh my goodness, man. I thought we were going to be in poverty for a minute. I mean, having to watch the fans root for Bailey Zappe, man, it was bad. It was bad. It was bad. And then that stunt that Bill pulled, starting having Matt Patricia be the offensive coordinator, man, whew, it's oh, oh, that's your boy Ty Simpson there. That's right. I forgot Ty Simpson. He's not starting that game, I don't think, but he will. He should be playing, if I'm not mistaken. All right, so here we go. Oh, who threw the ball where? My goodness, incomplete. Fourth down. So again, here in the fourth quarter with 8 minutes and 46 seconds to go, as you see said, JB, I'm really not sure. I'm gonna keep going this afro. You're not gonna keep growing this afro. I mean, hey, if you can grow it, rock it. He said, I have been growing my hair since at least late January. I thought you were gonna grow it out and then maybe, get you some Iverson braids, and then transition over to dreadlocks or something like that. That's what I thought you were gonna do, RC. All right, 49-yard field goal attempt. Take it to the bank. It's good. All right, so Chicago adding on more points here, 27-10. Somewhere out there is a man named Lewis that is celebrating his Chicago Bears preseason dominance right now. Let's see. Let me say, how far from Atlanta, man? So actually not far. Actually not far. Let's see. RC says Iverson cornrows. No. You gotta do it, RC. I'm telling you, you got to do it. Tell him Black Medicine, he's got to do it. He's got to do it. Black Medicine said JB lives in Death Valley where Patriots dreams go to die. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. So again, just awaiting here in the fourth quarter with about 8 minutes and 41 seconds to go. And Chicago up 27-10. But hey, the first half though, honestly, what do you guys think? Like best quarterback so far today, obviously it's been Deshaun Watson, 11 of 15 for 126 yards. Hate the fact that they pulled the plug early on Shador, but I understand it. They do want to look at the other quarterback there, and next week I would assume they'll give Shador the entire first half. Unsure who the Browns will be playing next week, but yeah. Yeah, so my next live stream is going to be next Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern time, in which me, Zoe, Old Man, and Nash are going to be going live again for our talk show, just like last Wednesday, and talk some football there. And then afterwards, I don't know exactly which game, but I'm for sure going to be live streaming next week, Saturday. Thursday is up in the air just because my wife has a work event, so I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to need to pick her up and drop her off transportation wise or not. So I may not be able to do Thursday next week, but there's a possibility that maybe I could perhaps make it up with Friday if there's some games that I like on Friday. For sure, Saturday next week. We'll just see how that plays out. That's the RC. I'm telling you, I'm just growing it to grow it. Well, then, hey, grow it. We'll have this conversation in about 6 months about you having those Iverson braids. You got to bring it back, RC. Only you can do it. All right, there's an injured Bears player on the field right now. Hopefully, he's okay. And the guys that are playing right now, they have so much to play for. They're playing for roster spots here, auditioning for other teams. This is their dreams. And this is really the first live performance for some of these guys, or maybe second rodeo at this. So it means a lot to the guys on the field. And so bet Samuel, like when it's his best quarterback yesterday, Cooper Rush. What was Cooper Rush that? Let's see. Like Messi says, RC, I can't. You say I can't cut my hair because it probably won't grow back. Yeah, don't be like JB. You wake up one day and it doesn't grow back. So I'm telling you, RC, now's the time. Go ahead, grow it out, man. Grow it out. All right, and again, it's ready to continue the action here shortly for this preseason game. As the people said, he rushed an interception. I remember, like Mason says, JB used to have dreads. Oh man, the transition from then to now. If I only knew. If I only knew. Because that was up until when? Let's see. That was up until about when did I cut my hair? Like 20. I think 2017 was the year I cut it. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think 2017 was the year I cut the dread. So therefore, yeah, it's been all downhill since then. Let's see. Do I have an old pick? And so I do have an old pick. I remember I did share before one time. So y'all give JB a minute here. I'm gonna see if I can get it pulled up in the background here. So it may not be immediately, but I can show. Let me just pull one up here. It'll be a little blast from the past. Let's see. All right, so it will be a blast from the past for sure. TRC says, only me, JB. The craziest thing about it is I told my mom I wasn't gonna ever grow my hair again, and she told me you better grow it while you still can. Ain't that the truth, RC? She ain't lying. While you still can, grow it. Man, you better grow it. That's all JB gonna say is that you better grow it. All right, so JB's got to do a little searching there for the photo in question here. All right, let's see. Oh, my bad. I didn't even read that. RC said JB trying to live actually through my hair. You caught me, RC. You caught me. If JB could again, he would. So I can only leave it to you, RC. Samuel says you're about to leave here. Good evening. So see you next time. Yeah, see you next time, Samuel. Thanks for coming through, man. You take care, man. Hey, be safe out there. Be safe out there in them streets. Don't do anything JB wouldn't do. Let's see. Black Mesa said, show the picture from the infamous fumble you had on senior night. That never happened, by the way. Never happened. So that is so true. Let's see, not shout out Mel Powder attacking us all. Yes, yes. Oh man, I see it everywhere I go. Everywhere I go. All right. Meanwhile, is that Talon Green in there or is that still Dylan Gabriel? I'm tripping here. All right. 8 minutes and 24 seconds to go here in the game. All right. JB's still looking here. JB's just got a a lot of photos. All right. Throws it, complete it, picks up 6 yards on the play with 7 minutes and 45 seconds left to go. All right, all right. JB's got a couple just to show not just the dread era, but also when JB had braids as well. All right, here we go. 3rd and 4. Oh, brought down, but hey, he avoided the big hit, right? But brought down there for the sack. 4th down coming up. You're down 17, 7 minutes and 2 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter of play. The only positive news is that this game is on the road, so they ain't got to worry about too many boos. Right. Okay. All right. So JB, I guess during the commercial here, I'll go ahead and share real quick. All right. I'm about to go ahead and share. So it's now or never. So JB's about to go ahead and share real quick. Let me see how I'm gonna do this. Okay. So I'm gonna have to remove the scoreboard to do it temporarily. All right. Okay. All right. Bears still moving the football here. All right. So this will be the window. All right. This should work. Now let me just move myself out the way so you guys can see it. All right. Mm. Uh, all right. So how's that? How is that? So it's oh Mike, oh Mike, oh Mike. Like Mr. said, don't show the previous stuff. You keeping the incognito. Now JB good, JB good, JB good. All right. So yeah, so that is basically, let's see, around your what year was that Black Medicine? What year was that? That had to be because I know that was like the second year in college and stuff like that. So that was the second year and stuff. And then this one is more so like what I had when I was in my 4th year of college. So at that time there, the back was extremely long there, was already committed to the front though, like, disappearing and stuff. And then that's me more so like in high school. So That would be like 10th or 11th grade, one of those 2 years. I think in between 10th and 11th grade when I actually had grades back then. So that was more so the basketball version of me. And then that would be closer towards maybe what, second semester in college and stuff. So JB's almost done. Just got one more left. And so yeah, the braid era again. So yeah. So that was that. So I will end this one now. So there we go. All right, now to get the scoreboard back up real quick. All right, let's see. All right, so now just got to add the scoreboard back, and then we're back in action with about 3 minutes and 34 seconds to go in a fourth with the Bears looking to run that clock. Can't blame them there. All right, there we go. There we go. Leave it to Black Medicine. He was just nice, and you're on your phone there. So yeah, that one there, I was definitely on my phone there. So in that one, let's see. RC says, "Man, that ain't JB." So when I say yeah, JB don't age a little bit now. I don't age a little bit. And so let's see. Mike says, "Looks cool." Appreciate that, Mike. RC said, "That ain't JB. That's Wale." Good old Wale, man. See, Mike says, "What a shame to lose the dress so early in life. May the rest with good Lord." And so, oh man, yeah, I remember that decision, man. I remember that decision to cut the hair at that point. But your boy was gaining a lot of weight towards the end of that time there. So once I cut my hair, it's like I could really see how much weight I had at that point in time. So I was like, yeah, I got to lose the weight. As I said, JB, that should be the cover of your mixtape produced by DJ Drama. Oh man. Let's see, Mr. JB said what happened. And so right now the Bears are up 27-10 here in the fourth at about 3 minutes and 20 minutes, 3 minutes, 28 seconds to go. I'm sorry, my score was behind. Less than 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Second and two. And the Bears trying to score. And so, as Darcy said, I used to have the Iverson cornrows from '02 to '03, but I ain't got no pictures of proof. Oh, man, RC, you know you got photos, man. We see through it, RC. We see through it. We know you got something hidden. Meanwhile, for Chicago, that's a touchdown. That's Bennett, Coleman Bennett, for a touchdown run to give the Bears a 33-10 lead with about 2 minutes and 38 seconds to go. And you know it's the preseason because you see the fans standing up and clapping as if it's a golf tournament as opposed to a football game. So the fans are like, yeah, we've seen enough. We're good. Let's see, Mike says, not as cool as now JB. Says RIP Braid. Let's see, Mike says, easy, Mad Chatter. Don't lie to him now. So no, he was asking what happened. Now, I intentionally decided to redirect to the game as opposed to what happened to the hair. That was an intentional move right there, Black Medicine. As this JB was out here looking like J. Cole with the dread. Oh man. As he Mike says, JB still mocking Atlanta peeps. And so man, that was quite a transformation there. Like especially going from the braid like around 2010 was when I really started implementing the braids up until 2012. Then from 2012, it was like baby dreads, 2013, small dreads, then 2014, regular size, 2015, longer dreads. And so that stuff took evolutions to get to that point. Like it took years to get to that point. All right, but we got about 2 minutes and 38 seconds left in this one. We all know who won this one, but hey, it's the preseason. You watch it because you missed football. Like Mr. says, from R. Kelly to Wale. Man. Right, kickoff on the way. So the Browns returning it all the way to about the 32-yard line. Look, I don't made a lot of transformations like medicine, but I ain't never reached Uncle Phil status now. I ain't never did that. Let's see, Mike says, hashtag football desperate. We're all desperate for football right now. That we are. At least next week we know we'll watch a couple more starters play for a little bit. And then after that, it's like, all right, we're ready. We're ready. All right, quick pass caught and nice pickup. Let's see. Arthur said, what made me cut it? To be honest, what really made me cut it was that towards the front, because like when you start getting dreadlocks and stuff like that, everybody's hair is going to thin a little bit. But those who have thicker dreads, it can survive a little bit of thinning and stuff like that at the top and stuff. So once I reached to the point where I was like, okay, because I had mine very thin, because I wanted very thin looking dreads, and so I felt like they looked neat and stuff like that. But I should have got thicker ones because they could have survived them. But at that point in time, it was like I kept looking at myself in the mirror, but I kept seeing the same me from years ago because of my long hair. So to push myself to lose weight at that time and stuff like that, I cut my hair and then I was like, all right, so now there's no more distraction. I see the real me. And I was like, I had to lose weight because at that point in time, I was about like 245 pounds. I remember the doctor was like, you're obese. And I was like, huh? I was like, me? I was like, what? Really? I was like, you sure about that, doc? Like, really? And so then that's when I was like, okay, okay, I got to make a change. And I did. Like that summer, I had lost like 40 pounds that corresponding summer. And I don't think I would have done that if I had kept distracting myself with my hair and stuff like that. So it was a business decision and it worked out. But now it went too far. So went from the low cut to the no cut just about. Let's see, Black Message says, I can't complain. I look like him from the neck down. I see what you did there. I see what you did there. Let's see. Mike says, breaking Mechie Tutty. Oh, so he did score a touchdown? Okay, okay. I forgot about Mechie. I forgot about Mechie. All right, 2nd and 3 for the Browns. Another run play. Cleveland says, we just want to get out of here, but hey, he's got other plans. He's still on his feet here. Okay. And that's Devon Boo with a 28-yard run. As Archie said, you got to be patient getting your hair down. Oh, yeah. So people say, JB, it's been fun. I'll be back to check you out. I'm off to watch the Chiefs. Hey, I appreciate you coming through, people. It was great. I look forward to the next time that we chat there. And hey, have a good time watching that game there. Hopefully, it stays more entertaining towards the end, more closer there. But hey, best of luck to you. Appreciate you coming through. See, Black man says thin looks better. Yeah, thin looks better, but thin gets thin very easily and stuff like that to where it's like, okay, now you're in danger of losing a few. And so, right out of Tony's playbook, man, right out of Tony's playbook. Let's see, Black Master says 240. I'd hate to see what he would have said about 380 in high school. Let's see, Mike says the normal weight and what is biggest you got? The biggest I got was really 240. I feel like 245 was the biggest I got because I'm only 5'10 and stuff like that. They used to say 5'11, but we don't shrunk to 5'10. So I'm only 5'10. So yeah, 5'10, 245 was the biggest I had got. And I was like, all right, I got to make a change. And I was like, and I'm talking to the man in the mirror that keeps eating pizza by the pound. So NF, what's good? What's good? And Kenneth says, hey, my friends, how is everyone doing today? We are good. How about yourself? Appreciate you coming through with a buck 05 to go in the fourth quarter. And you said you're doing good today. And when is the next stream? The next stream for me is going to be Wednesday. Wednesday at 9 p.m. is the next live stream I have. And that's my talk show with me, Zoe, Old Man, and Nash. My next play-by-play for sure next week Saturday, but next week Thursday is in question because I've got to do some stuff with the wife. So not sure if I'm going to be able to stream Thursday or not. RC said, did the doctor say you were a beast or obese? He said, I'm a beast and obese at the same time. That's what he said. He said, a beast and obese at the same time. And that was not the compliment I wanted. Gabriel in the pocket throws one too high. He just ain't got it. He just ain't got it. I'm sorry. He just ain't got it. RC said, and the last segment was brought to you by JB's Hair Salon. Like Mr. said, they didn't call him Titanic Tony for nothing. He collided with a ton of big icebergs in his day, and it shrunk all the potential. Everything sunk to the bottom, man. Just everything, man. Let's see. Mike says, carbs, no. Archie said, I got to get ready to go to the family outdoor event myself, even though I am antisocial. Catch you later, JB. Thanks for coming through, RC. Have a great rest of your day. And when are you going to be going live again, RC? Let everybody know when you're going to be going live again so that way, we can stop by and support. But yeah, this game is over. It's a wrap. It is done. Chicago, they came, they conquered. They don't have their way out there. 34-10 as a unit. And we walk away from this game with a strong fear that we might have to watch more Deshaun Watson this upcoming season because Shador did not take advantage of any opportunity today. But we'll see what happens next week. There's still another preseason game. And so, absolutely. Mike says, shout out RC, W Stream, JB. Thanks for coming through, Mike. Thanks for coming through, Black Medicine, RC, Kenneth, Evil. Everybody that came through, I appreciate you guys. You guys are the real MVP. And that's going to be a wrap for today. So JB's got to run some errands now. So JB will cut the stream here. But thanks again for coming through. It's been great. It was really a great game, great stream. I can't say the same for the game there, but it was a great stream. So thank you guys for coming through. And again, JB's next live will be Wednesday for the talk show. And other than that, stay posted, see what game JB ends up picking for next week. Hopefully I can get in multiple games next week. But if not, just know that JB's Thursday is up in the air right now. So yeah, but you guys take care. See you guys next time. And JB's out.